The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
CEO of the movie theater chain AMC posted to X last week that a blackmailer had catfished him and attempted to extort him for money. I know the feeling, said someone who just paid $40 for popcorn and a drink. Netflix recently unveiled plans to open 2 so-called Netflix House venues where customers can eat, drink, and buy merchandise, or more likely, just look at the menu for 2 hours and leave.
This is exciting. I want to say congratulations to Disney for celebrating their 100th anniversary. And to celebrate 100 years, ironically, pricing on Disney Plus went from goofy status to this is ducking insane.
You know, it's Tuesday morning and time is flying.
Right, it's Tuesday morning.
Testicle Tuesday.
Take it easy Tuesday.
Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
Music has been taken out of this portion of the Half-Ass Morning Show podcast for licensing reasons.
Hell yeah. All right, then. How about a Tuesday show? What are these guys hollering at us about?
I'm assuming you aren't familiar with the YouTuber Mac Glocky. Everybody here, Mac Glocky? Do you have any of his albums?
No.
T-shirts, merchandise?
No.
Maybe he's got a weed strain. I don't know.
You could show me the top 100 YouTube people, and I'd have no effing idea. So this is Matt Glocky.
Mac, M-A-C, Mac Glocky.
Mac Glocky.
And he's doing the B-52's Rock Lobster as if System of a Down wrote it.
Oh, that's very cute.
A lot of these YouTubers are doing this kind of... And it seems like System of a Down is a popular one where they take a song that you wouldn't expect... and then make it into a YouTube mashup. We'll post this on 93x.com for podcasters who don't get an opportunity to hear this right now.
It's very cute.
Thanks to those music licensing rules, which has made life a lot of fun around here.
It really has no stress whatsoever.
Blast. Yeah, a System of a Down has such an original kind of crackhead type delivery. Mm-hmm. It's probably fun to try and mimic them or cover them, right?
Yeah. And so many of these YouTubers really do a good job with a lot of these, not just System of a Down, but some of these mashups. And you know, for humor purposes, and in this case, if I remember right, Mac Glocky he's reading or viewer suggestions, right? They'll say, hey, do this song like this guy. And a lot of the YouTubers are doing that.
YouTubers, I'll be damned. I knew I recognized the song. With the la 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 la, Rock Lobster, B-52s. Mm-hmm. Not that I ever was any kind of a fan of the B-52s, but this song has a place in my heart forever because the original version of the song by the B-52s, it's polarizing. Is that a good word, Josh?
To say the least.
Mm-hmm. Right? Folks...
I'm fine with it. My wife hates it. She doesn't like the B-52s at all. She doesn't understand how they ever got a record contract.
I remember watching them right when they first hit it big in the early 80s on some wacky television programming, but that doesn't matter. Where I'm going with this is there's a dude that drinks at my neighborhood bar who comes uncorked if anybody puts Rock Lobster on the jukebox.
Anger?
It physically affects him. He won't
It's odd.
And so one night we said, F it, we're going to push it to the limit. So we kept pumping that awful ass, until he finally, this is about as violent as this guy could ever get. But he's infuriated after about the 9th go round with B-52's Rock Lobster. He in the end, he threw his jacket at us. He weakly threw his jacket. You sons of bitches with the B.
Can't say I've ever been hit by a coat or really any piece of clothing.
You want no part of it, Cubby. So there you go. That's always fun when you introduce us to new stuff like that, Josh. It's early. 5:43. Welcome to our program. Some of you might be short on sleep, so sorry I got fired up there. It's a little early for that. We'll try not to let her puck just yet. We'll try to ease you into it. Speaking of getting some sleep, you guys know there's a gal over there in Vietnam. Says she hasn't gotten a lick of sleep in 11 years.
Is that possible?
I don't know. I'm going to say no. I read about this lady, and she seems like she's full of S.
Yeah.
Personally.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tran Thi Lu is the name. She's become the talk of Vietnamese social media, and Josh, you're calling her out as a liar.
It's tough to believe.
Uh-oh.
Do you believe she hasn't slept at all in 11 years?
This is the first I've thought about it, so I guess I don't know.
Your first thoughts? If I told you I haven't slept in 11 years, what would you say?
Liar.
I wouldn't immediately jump on you, I don't think, Josh, because I know so little about insomnia, but insomnia is a thing, right?
Well, that's different.
This is different?
I mean, yeah, you have difficulty sleeping, but you're getting some sleep.
Yeah, I think you would die if you didn't sleep for 11 years.
I did not know that. I thought insomnia meant you're just smooth, never going to sleep. So now that you've given me that information.
You don't get good quality sleep. You know, I mean, it's tough to fall asleep. I know there's different varying levels for people. It's tough to fall asleep, tough to stay asleep. You're not getting anywhere near as much as you would want.
I thought insomnia just plain and simple meant you don't sleep. But this gal says she hasn't slept in 11 years. Well, this makes me kind of concerned for Wobble. This could happen to you, I think, because this no sleep for 11 years lady, she says that her insomnia began with a bizarre crying episode.
Yeah. I mean, well.
You're at risk.
Yeah.
You're slightly at risk for this.
Any one of these times.
Man, yeah, next time you're balling at work, I'm going to say, hang on, man. Maybe I'll put a pillow under your head. Make sure you don't. She said tears just started flowing out of her eyes for no apparent reason, and it wouldn't stop. Eventually, she was able to stop with the crying, but she hasn't slept since. All she can do is sprawl out and close her eyes to relax while her husband and her children are sleeping.
I would reach a point,
You'd go crazy.
think very quickly, that I would need someone to like knock me out. I'd be begging people to just like put me to sleep.
That's how they torture folks, right?
Oh, by
sleep
keeping them
deprivation.
Sleep deprivation.
Keep them awake. Yeah.
Ooh, sleep deprivation
That would get me.
is a form of torture.
That's what happened in Ozark.
I feel for Chipman
really?
Jesus, who said that he has severe sleep insomnia. It's difficult to fall asleep. That's what it is, and he only averages 3 a night.
Yeah.
I'm
So
probably
a lot of times
five a night during the weekdays, a little more on the weekends.
5 a night's nice. I love 5 a night. I have awful sleep issues. I always have. A lot of times I never get that high quality sleep. So you're just laying there with your eyes closed and you feel like you might be sleeping, but you're still kind of awake.
Because you go to bed pretty early.
I try to, because it takes me 3 or 4 hours to fall asleep.
Oof.
Dang, dude. Oh, I can't imagine. That's the worst feeling ever.
Yep.
I'm lucky where lately I've been waking up a lot, but usually I'm asleep before my head hits the pillow.
Oh,
lucky
God,
that.
that's no. I'm so jealous of that.
I've had sleep issues since, oh boy, I don't know, maybe my late teens. I started to suffer from sleep issues. Dana, I can relate to everything that you're saying. If you and I were ever roommates, it would end in the bloodiest knife fight of all time. We would both go crazy and end up murdering each other after making passionate love, I think.
That'll help you fall asleep.
If you guys, like, having sleep issues, if you guys took some Z-Quil, would that just knock you out, or does that not really work on you then?
Z-Quil?
Yeah, it's made just for sleeping. It's like NyQuil.
It's like melatonin.
It's like cough medicine.
I've taken melatonin. I found that it helps me fall asleep, but then I have crazy dreams. I wake up and I'm awake for the rest of the night.
I don't mess with any dope when it comes to sleep.
Okay.
I've never tried anything either.
I don't mess with any of that stuff. It makes me feel like I'm not ever going to wake up again.
That's exactly my point. I feel like I'm never going to wake up if I take those drugs.
Well, I'm worried I'll won't wake up for work or something. You sleep through an alarm.
I've told you this before. This is where I can relate to Dana's problem. I've told you, My buddies don't get it. And, like say they want to go do something on a weeknight. And I say, well, I got to be up at, 3 something in the morning. Well, so you get home at 11, you go to bed, you get 4 hours of sleep.
It doesn't work that way.
And I say, no, you don't understand. I lie down, and it's usually 2 hours before so if I get home at 11, I'm not getting to sleep till 1.
And especially if you're going to an event like, say, a sports game or a concert, if this was me, my brain would be so wired that there's no way it would take me even longer than normal to fall asleep.
Yeah.
We're losing our minds, and we're probably going to die young. Here, back to this lady from Vietnam. She's gone off to the hospital to try and figure this deal out. Doctors diagnosed her with severe insomnia. They gave her a pocket full of dope. That didn't take, like some of the stuff that Ashley was bringing up. Her neighbor backs up her story, if that means anything to you.
Okay. Does her neighbor watch her 24/7 or?
Oh, you really want to challenge this, huh?
You want to believe it.
Well, no, I don't care one way or the other. She also has constant bone and stomach pain all year round.
Bone pain.
Bone pain.
Oh.
Entering the ring now at 325 pounds. From parts unknown, bone pain.
And everyone's just chanting, bone, bone.
Yes.
Tiny Hammer Jesus said he's got sleep issues. One is a year old, the other is 2 weeks old. That'll get in the way.
So sorry.
Oh.
That sounds brutal.
This lady remains hopeful that one day she'll be able to sleep like a normal person again. Yeah, I think if this really is true, and if this was me, I think I'd become the naked neighborhood lunatic window peeper, something like that if I couldn't sleep. I'd go mental.
Oh, I'd probably just develop some crippling drug problem or something.
I'd be sitting on my front porch 24 hours a day, brushing the hair of a severed mannequin head or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'd be covered in blood, but it's not my blood.
There was a time, I think it was either last year or the year before. I can't remember, but where I was also bartending and doing this gig. And
yeah, you were in great shape at that point in your life. Yeah, that was. You looked great. You felt great.
I felt fantastic.
You came in periodically, on time, never.
Yeah. Well, one of the times I only I think I got maybe 10 minutes of sleep, and
yeah, that'll work.
After. Well, I don't know. I felt wired when I got home. I couldn't go to sleep. I had 3 hours where I could have slept, but when you get home like that after, I don't know, being on your feet, it's hard to fall asleep. But it got to the point where I was so tired that I couldn't fall asleep, and it made me so angry. I was just I was hysterical. I could not stop crying for no reason. I was just so emotional.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
and that's a day.
It'll play tricks on you.
That's for sure.
Lack of sleep will make you one of those street wanderers that's mumbling to themselves.
And that could affect your emotions, certainly.
Oh, hell yeah. I love this text message from offended millennial Jesus. I guess he's more or less saying, hey, different things work for different people. He says a crying episode while rocking back and forth and screaming why is what puts him to sleep. That's great. Oh. There you go. What else is going on around here?
A few people are texting in, and they do think it's funny, Wapple, how you're like, no, I don't like to take those drugs.
Oh, yeah. But I'll smoke weed.
Yeah, you will smoke a lot of weed.
Definitely smoke a lot of weed. Yeah, but
and that doesn't help? Or maybe you're just so used to weed that it affects you differently.
Yeah, and if I smoked more indica, I'd definitely fall asleep more. But I've never had trouble falling asleep. Even when I'm sick, I really don't take drugs.
I try not to.
I never take Tylenol. I never do anything like that. Really.
I don't like that stuff either.
I'm with you, man.
Really?
So it's not falling asleep. What is your problem then? Do you have sleep problems?
No, not at all.
I thought you.
No, very easy for me to fall asleep.
Thought you were joining us in our sleep issues, and that's why. Yeah, Josh had a good question about pot should usually help. But you're saying you don't have sleep problems.
No, even when
Lucky little Muppet bastard.
Yeah, even when I didn't smoke weed, in middle school. I mean, I never had problems.
Middle school.
That's funny.
To reach a point where you didn't smoke weed.
You're a 31-year-old man?
Yeah, I couldn't lie.
Waffle, do you think if you stopped smoking weed, you would have issues falling asleep, though?
I don't think so. It'd be more probably emotional stuff that I'd have a problem with if I quit smoking weed.
Oh, okay.
Emotional things. You need it. You need it to level your ass out because you're insane.
Like anxiety and stuff like that. I'd probably have a lot more anxiety.
True.
We don't want you to have any more than you already do. I'll tell you that right now.
It's way more infrequent than it ever was, to give you credit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if we thank your girlfriend for that or what it is.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe you got
It's
better
definitely
weed.
her.
Better weed, you're saying?
Yeah, maybe he changed up, got a better weed guy.
No, we've been going strong for
That's
quite a
in
few
middle
years.
school?
Would you say he's your best friend? Wait, are you going to invite him to your wedding?
Probably.
He's the officiant.
Just on a side note, and speaking of sleep, I was trying to give myself nightmares last night. I watched a little bit of The Exorcist. God, I love that setup. I dig that movie. Watched a little bit of it. It was just on the regular channel, the non-cursing and,
okay.
you know what I'm talking about? What do you call that? Network television? I don't know what the hell you call it. Regular television.
Edited
Like
for
basic
TV.
cable type TV stuff?
Yeah, basic. I watched a little bit of The Exorcist. But nothing happened. I thought maybe I'd have some sick-ass dreams, which can be fun sometimes. But nothing happened.
I'm enjoying The Fall of the House of Usher. Anybody watching that one yet?
No.
I watched the first 2 episodes. It hasn't really grabbed me.
Is it a little slow?
Yeah, it's
That
a little
nightclub
slow.
scene didn't get you?
Oh, I guess I can't. Maybe I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm watching a lot of different shows right now.
Now, this might be the stupidest question you hear all day, but is that a story of the singer Usher?
No. So far, they haven't revealed that if it is, but I'm only a few episodes in.
That's so funny you say that because when I first saw the title, I was like, all right, okay, let me read what this is about. And I was pleasantly surprised it was not about Usher.
I mean, it would make sense because didn't he have a good thing going and then terrible things happened and now everyone laughs at him? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Are you thinking of R. Kelly, maybe?
I think you're thinking of R. Kelly.
Yeah, Usher's doing the Super Bowl halftime show this year. And he's got a really
forgot about
popular
that.
Vegas residency right now where tickets go for like $1,000 a night.
Yeah, if there's something with Usher, I'm not aware.
That's the hot
I'll
new-
have to hope they have more info on the fall of the House
get
of
back
Usher.
to us on that.
The Fall of the House of Usher, and I thought, oh no, the singer. But you're involved in that one, huh, Josh?
Yeah, I enjoy it. A few listeners have texted in to talk about it as well.
The nightclub scene was gross, people are saying.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, I haven't.
Then you must not have seen it.
Nope, I don't think, no. I was talking about, it's called The Conference. It's on Netflix as well.
I'm not familiar with that.
I don't recommend.
People are texting in saying the nightclub scene you're referring to is gross.
It is gross. Luke Skywalker's in it.
Oh,
no way.
never go wrong
Way.
there.
Way.
Mark Hamill.
Yeah, he plays this badass lawyer. And there's an actor, Bruce Greenwood, who, if you're not familiar with the name, you'd recognize him if you saw him. He plays the patriarch, Roderick Usher. He's awesome. I don't know if you guys would like it. Well, Ashley, you'd like it. Actually, you know
It's
what?
giving me spooky vibes, right?
So you have not seen it?
No.
Gotcha.
Let's see what's happening here via our text machine. You can always get a hold of us, 651-989-9393. Ojibwe Jesus is telling me that Usher gave some chick the herp. Okay. Maybe that is what I was thinking, because I remember hearing he was maybe dishing herpes around town. And I mentioned that I watched a little bit of Exorcist last night, which I think is just a terrific horror movie. I never get tired of that one. There's a new one out, right?
Yes.
And we talked about it a couple weeks ago. The mother from the original Exorcist makes an appearance in this current version. Dry-aged ribeye Jesus said, Exorcist 3, bro. So underrated, you will not sleep that night. Maybe I should try that. I never bothered with any of the how should I say, Exorcist continuations. I mean, the original came out in, what, 73 or something like that? I never bothered with anything beyond that. But I appreciate the heads up.
I never really got into the Exorcist movies.
It's so much fun.
I always thought it was comical. Like when I saw the classic throwing up scene. And
you mean because the special effects are so chintzy looking compared to these days?
Yeah, and I think that's why I haven't given the other ones a chance. But maybe I'll check them out then.
Yeah. I mean, sure, it looks silly, the pea soup vomiting and the head spinning around and the special effect. Yeah, it's.
And I think for some people your age and younger, certainly, those movies are slow. For what you're used to, it's a lot different. Even I'll rewatch some comedies that I liked as a kid. The intros are insane long. Where you don't get that anymore.
The Exorcist came back into theaters for some type of anniversary thing when I was in middle school. Back when guys we'd go to movies with girls.
I remember that.
Big group of kids. I made out with a girl during The Exorcist, and there's very few movies that are less sexy than The Exorcist.
That's when you gotta get some.
Yeah. When the chick is spewing out the pea soup and you're just happily making out with somebody.
Oh God, and that's one of the lighter moments of the movie when she vomits the green stuff all over the. And Josh is right. Good point about how movies back years and years ago, they weren't terribly concerned about a slow plot, about milking the movie for 2.5 hours until the good stuff comes around, because back then they knew once your ass was sitting in the theater, you weren't going anywhere.
You didn't have any cell phones to check.
No, you weren't playing with your computer or fingering your cell phone or this or that. It was a thrill for people to just go to a movie theater. For some people in 1973, you weren't going anywhere. If we're talking strictly about The Exorcist, I love the character Father Karras. And I couldn't tell you for the life of me what the actor's name was, but I think the guy's just awesome in that movie. Terrific.
I can't stop thinking of a Scary Movie where they have the scene where they are parodying the Exorcist scene.
I saw all the parodies before I saw the original.
Scary.
Yeah, same here.
I mean, I loved some of the Scary Movie stuff, but there's no way I can tell you if I've watched 1, 5, 3, 11. I can't tell one from the other. But
I watched the first one and maybe 10 minutes of the second one. That was it.
I did enjoy that stuff. It was just so silly. Is that what we're talking about? The funny, scary movie, right?
Oh, it got me every time. The dude with the hand and the mashed potatoes. Gross.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's Steven, the comic that is kind of people say he's kind of a prick. Who's that comic? Steven,
right?
No, bald guy. Forget it. But anyway, Chris Elliott pops up in those movies once in a while. There's some good stuff when it comes to Scary Movie. Really.
Well, was the second one the one where he's in a bathroom and then he gets impaled through the head with a penis?
With a wiener?
Yeah, that's when I turned it off. All right, this is a little too stupid.
The comic who made fun of radio personalities in that drop, Josh, from years ago.
Oh,
Steven. I thought his name was Steven.
No.
Steve Roman?
No.
Steve Roman.
Wapple from Arrested Development. Oh. The bald guy.
Oh, boy.
I gotta look it up.
See, I didn't mean to start trouble. But there you go. Steve.
Why can't I think of his name? I know him.
Bevan.
David Cross?
Yes, David Cross. There you go.
Not Steven, but David. Okay. People are telling me that Chris Elliott is the small hand guy. Yeah, they're right about that. But that David, we just said it. Elliott? What?
David Cross.
David Cross is involved in those scary movies now and again as well. Sure. There you go. Oh, my damn. What is it? So I mentioned it's a Tuesday morning broadcast. We're just a couple days away from heading over to Wisco. We were told yesterday that we're going to have a hell of a crowd.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A hell of a crowd. And we may get to talking a little later on this morning about our trip.
The itinerary?
Well, sure, we could cover that, this and that. Our trip to Turtle Lake Casino out that away. So anyway, you're a great crowd. We appreciate you joining us. We got to take a breather. We got stupid news on deck. So don't go anywhere. So we'll be right back on the Half-Ass Morning Show.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Susie Schuster and Amy Trask present offbeat conversations and expert sports commentary as they ask, what the football?
When my family found out how long it took me to figure out why Charles Woodson named his wine Intercept, they said, there's a reason that you had trouble in school.
You know, not everyone knows, when they think of a bottle of Intercept, they don't know that I play football.
Well, what I've learned is a smooth defensive back can make smooth wine.
That's what it's all about.
What the Football with Susie Schuster and Amy Trask. The podcast is available Tuesdays, wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Oh, this is great. I just got a text message. We must have played the ad, and this is all new to me. I had to ask Josh about this yesterday off air. There's a television show out there called F-Boy Island.
There sure is.
Yes, sir.
I had to ask Josh yesterday off air, what the hell, what's an F-Boy? And you had
I'd like to consider myself an F-boy.
Well, if
at least a D-.
Yeah, you're quite literally the opposite of an F-boy.
I don't know wait a minute. What is it? What does it mean again? If it means an attractive and wonderful, caring, hilarious, intelligent man, then you are an F-boy. What is an F-boy again? Someone has to tell me.
Actually, what makes me the opposite?
Yeah, what makes Josh the opposite of an F-boy?
I guess F-boys are usually not good people. They're usually promiscuous. Yeah.
Christ, I'm an F-boy.
You could probably classify.
You used to be. What? You used to be an F-boy. You are a married man.
No
with
way,
a wife.
man. I just found out about F-boys. I want in. I want to be an F-boy.
It's too late. You should have known. It's been a few seasons. You've got a wedding ring on.
Oh, God, look.
Yeah, see?
I should say people also use F-boy if an example would, a perfect picture of an F-boy would be your typical frat dude with the button shirt unbuttoned, abs hanging out.
Hell yeah, I'm an F-boy. Look at me.
Urban Dictionary says an F-boy is a guy who lies to girls so he can pull as much ass as possible.
Dude. I got a text saying, has Dana auditioned for the F-boy show? Because you mentioned, I think you've auditioned for a couple of shows in
Survivor, yeah.
What do you think about being on the F-Boy show?
I'll go check out the island. Why not me?
You guys were all familiar with this show?
Yeah. I've never watched it, but I have heard about it.
Nikki Glaser. I've heard her on maybe it was Conan's podcast or Smartless.
Conan or Smartless.
I love this. I want to be an F-Boy. Is there a senior edition?
Well, Dana, do you have BDE?
BDE? I don't know. Do I?
I don't know.
I don't feel like I do.
Ashley, you're the expert around here. Does Dana have BDE?
Well, what the hell does that mean?
Probably not.
I have
big D energy.
I have D energy, douchebag energy. But I don't think I have BDE.
I think energy is a strong word too.
How do you know when a guy has BD energy, big D energy?
Oh, I guess there's not really parameters. You just feel it.
I feel like it's porn when you
like
you
an
see
aura.
it, you know.
You carry yourself in a certain way.
Exactly.
Swagger.
Yeah.
All right. This is hilarious. I love learning this new stuff. I gotta find this on my television. I gotta watch it. The show is called F-Boy Island.
Yeah.
Television is incredible now, man. It's incredible.
Beef Cannon Jesus said if it's Nikki Glaser, he will be an F-boy for her. She's attractive.
She's very good.
Nikki Glaser? All right. That's hilarious.
She can be very funny. I know you'd recognize her. She's really good at the roasts. Attractive blonde.
Oh, the Comedy Central roast. Yeah, I used to watch those back in the day. She was a feature on those programs.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for catching me up to everything. F-Boys, BDE, whatever the hell's going on around here. That is great. We've been playing the ad for the show, and I'm proud of it. Let's get the stupid news going here. Is this a true story here? This is a hell of a deal. There's a video going round and round. And the video doesn't show much proof, but the story is an Australian dude fought a kangaroo because the kangaroo was drowning his dog.
That video's on 93x.com. That's something else. That kangaroo was intimidating AF. Ashley, what does AF stand for?
This absolutely scared the heck out of me.
This dude is an ex-cop and a martial artist. So, he sounds like he can do some damage.
That's a badass right there. He's got BDE.
Oh, most definitely.
He goes by the name of Mick Maloney, and the name almost sounds too Australian for this to be real. But I'm going to go ahead anyway. The word is he came to the rescue of his dog. Mick was walking along a river with his dogs. 2 of them, 3 of them, I don't know. He had multiple. When he noticed one of them by the name of Hutchie was nowheres to be found. And that's when he saw a 7-foot-tall kangaroo in the water that was drowning old Hutchie Hutch. If you watch the video, it looks like the kangaroo is riding on the dog's back as the dog swims in the water like a cowboy might ride a horse, like some of you mount the old lady. Mick said, I saw a kangaroo in the water basically just staring at me. And then Hutchie, the dog, comes up gasping for air, water spilling out of his mouth and screaming his head off. And I was like, are you kidding me? So he approaches the kangaroo, which has got a hold of his dog. He warns why he turned on it. See, this is where I get iffy on this. He turns on his cell phone and turns on the movie. What do you call that on your cell phone?
His camera?
Turns on the video, right, to record it. That's where I get a little, this sounds a little shady.
Well, it seems very today.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me very much.
He warned the kangaroo that he was going to punch it in the skull, and then he cut loose and cold-cocked the damn thing. At least, that's what the story. In the video, you don't see that. You see him come nose to nose with the kangaroo, and then there's underwater, this and that, and then when you come back to it, there again is the kangaroo standing, and now it's no longer holding his dog.
And he's high-effing him big time.
That kangaroo?
Oh, man. That was intimidating.
Yeah, I don't like the look of this guy. He scares me.
Kangaroos are ripped. He looks
well.
massive.
Some of them are. Some of them are.
This one definitely is. Yeah.
And I've seen other kangaroo videos where like a kangaroo comes up to like a paraglider. He'll be landing and then he'll land. The kangaroo comes up and beats the dude up. That kangaroo was huge too.
Pickle Rick said kangaroos will wait in the water for someone to come close and then drown them.
Oh, jeez.
I can believe that. Well, just because they're wild animals. They don't want you coming into their territory. Where the hell do you see a video of a paraglider getting attacked by a kangaroo? Was this a Family Guy episode?
No,
awesome.
We even had it on our website one time.
What? I'm looking this up.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are right, though. This kangaroo in this here video was cut. And even Mick, the dude, with the dogs and such, Mick made a joke about it in the story. He saw how ripped this kangaroo was, and he said that he thought to himself when he first saw it, damn, this one just got out of jail or something. That's very funny.
Got a teardrop tattoo.
So the kangaroo let the dog go when it knew it was in a fist fight. Mick got the dog to shore. The kangaroo continued to stare Mick down. To the kangaroo, this fight wasn't over yet. But Mick got the hell out of there. He said he suffered some minor scratches on his arms in the brief scrap with the kangaroo. If this is true, this is one of the most Australian things that's ever happened. If only a giant deadly spider and a crocodile had tagged in on this fight, it would have been absolutely perfect.
I don't know, it looks real enough to me. A little Roo-Jujitsu there. I can't tell because his waist is underwater. Is he wearing boxer shorts?
Who's that?
Or, I'm sorry, boxing shorts, like if he's going to box.
Like an actual fighter?
Mick or the kangaroo?
The kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
God, yeah, he might have been wearing...
Because if he wasn't, was he wearing...
Kangaroo panties.
That's the other thing we don't know.
I'm sure some of yous were thinking kangaroo panties from the get-go.
Well, yeah, we got you.
Man, I was thinking it too, Cubby. The cutest thing that has ever been said aloud on this stupid radio show. I'll remember it until the day that I die.
I'm trying to... I know it was during a Family Feud game.
Yeah.
I remember the group of young ladies that came in.
Ooh, wow.
But I don't remember how that happened. And then that became a thing where any, especially female guests that came in, would say kangaroo panties.
Yeah, man, I don't remember the specifics. But just the sound of her voice, so adorably spitting that into the microphone, will never leave me. Never leave me.
Remember when she sneezed? I don't know if she wants to say her name or not, but she's local. But
oh no!
Do you guys remember that?
Yes. Yep. Air Force Jesus. We got one.
I sneezed.
Just adorable.
Adorable.
I love that she told us what happened.
Yeah.
This was the cutest number that's ever set foot in the building.
What year was this, would you estimate, if you can remember?
Oh, my gosh. It was pre-2012.
Okay.
I'm thinking of the lineup back then.
Many, many years ago. I couldn't tell you. 10, 12, 13.
Well, yeah, it had to have been less than 11 because I was here.
You weren't here. I don't know why you always got to spin stories about how you were here. Kangaroo panty. Okay, we got to move on.
Kangaroo panties.
By request.
Man. This kid here must be brilliant, huh? Cops in the District of Columbia have arrested a 19-year-old kid for allegedly punching and kicking a lady Uber driver after she refused to allow his dog in the vehicle.
Are there any that allow that? I haven't never Ubered. So does it say, like, on the app or something?
You can use your message as a driver and ask ahead of time.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah, or there's Lyft has like dog where the vehicle lets dogs in.
Dog friendly.
Yeah.
They can drive and stuff.
That'd be badass. What if your Lyft driver pulled up as a dog?
That'd be a dream come true.
This kid's name is Dax Willis. The cops say he assaulted the Uber driver and then stole the gal's car. He's charged with unarmed carjacking and robbery. Here's more evidence on how mature and well-adjusted this kid is. So the kid wants to bring his dog on the Uber ride with him. The driver says no. Dogs aren't allowed in my Uber. So this Dax kid, who has a very bright future, he threatens to spray her with mace. And the Uber lady must have been thinking, okay, how is that the next step in this process is spraying me with mace? There are rules in life. What, you never been taught that there are rules? So the kid drags her out of the car. He steals her phone. He tunes her ass up a little bit, and then he steals the car.
Yeah, I do, a lot of these stories, you do wonder how it gets from point A to point B. It seems like it should be point Q.
Right.
With everything, how it escalated.
I don't get it. I can't follow these stories anymore because of, like, what Josh just explained. It doesn't make sense that your Uber driver said, oh, no dogs are allowed, and the next step is you're threatening to spray her with mace.
I sneezed.
This Dax kid already has a record, so add this on to the other stuff and put his ass away, I guess. The really sad part is I damn near guarantee that this kid doesn't really care or cares to acknowledge what he's done is wrong. What a shame. 19 years old. Can you think of a more fun, carefree time in your life than when you were 19?
Yeah, really.
When you're 19, you're supposed to be having the time of your damn life while holding a job that you couldn't possibly care less about, but you still show up from time to time simply for beer money. Like the mostly awful rock band Slaughter once said, Josh, you're up all night and you sleep all day. And here's this Dax kid. He's doing it all wrong, and he has no idea what he's missing.
He's also burning bridges with Uber, another song by Slaughter, which I actually quite enjoyed, Burning Bridges. You like that one?
Burning bridges, falling down, got a nasty reputation from a town to town.
And the live version is really good.
They wrote that song about who? Go!
Their record company. What's his name? Was the guy that signed everybody, Kiss and Bon Jovi and...
Well, you said Kiss. They wrote the song about Vinnie Vincent.
Oh, I thought it was that heavyset guy that signed everybody.
Heavyset guy?
You know, I got to look him up. He even
everybody.
spoke at our school.
You're
the
not
manager.
You're not referencing Doc McGee.
Doc McGee, yeah.
No.
I'd always heard it was about Doc McGee.
Oh, I heard it was about Vinnie Vincent because, of course, are you guys ready for the history of the band Slaughter? So Mark Slaughter and Dana Strum were in Vinnie Vincent Invasion for a few years, and that went and turned into garbage, and then they formed Slaughter.
They had a couple moments there, didn't they? Flight of the Angels, that was a pretty big hit.
That was good.
Oh, God, I can't stand that song. Meth rocks, man. Stay clear of those meth rocks.
It ain't good for you.
They're nasty, and they cause folks to do nasty things. Nasty, unspeakable things. A 55-year-old guy in Arkansas. He might be, let's call him the meth rocks champion for today. He's looking at some drug and sexual indecency charges, and meth played a role in this, I hope. A cop saw the guy banging a stuffed animal.
Don't do that.
And hoard.
I have a stuffed animal, a huge sloth at my house, and I advise nobody to ever touch this thing because my dog has ruined this sloth.
By humping it?
Yes, it is
no.
destroyed. It, like, from afar, you can tell it's not clean.
Oh, no.
It's not a home unless you have a humping sloth.
Yep.
Dog semen? Or is that what we're talking about?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? So he's not fixed?
No.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's a scene.
Probably throw the thing away.
But Dana, you're basically saying home is where the humping sloth is?
Yeah.
That's what you're getting at?
Yeah.
If I throw the sloth away, what is left, Dana? What else is he going to use?
Oh, yeah. He's going to be humping everything else.
You know, that is a very good point.
It's good to have the distraction sloth.
I wouldn't have considered that.
In the name of the late, great Bob Barker, how come you didn't fix this thing?
He's a bird dog, so I wanted him to keep it keeps his energy high, and then the plan was never for him to be like, around the house, kind of laying on the couch constantly. But now that's his vibe. So.
All I'm saying is that's backfired on us a couple times. It has.
Wait, not fixing your dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard.
Male, specifically the dude dogs.
I've heard
It's
the same
backfired
thing.
on us a couple times.
Gross. I've never experienced that, thankfully.
Oh, no, I don't mean a literal backfire. I'm not talking about ejaculation. Is that what you thought I meant by that?
No, yeah. I thought you meant...
Oh, no, I'm talking about how they turn into pricks.
Oh, I thought you were going that route, too.
No, I wasn't making a canine ejaculatory joke.
I just thought you were sympathizing with Ashley, saying, yeah, we've seen that as well. That's
sorry that I misled you. I'm talking about the dogs become friggin' pricks.
He kind of is a little prick.
Give it time.
I don't like my own ejaculation. I can't imagine being around others.
I can't believe you guys thought I was making a dog ejaculatory joke.
We weren't. I didn't think you were joking. Ashley just said that her dog does that, and you had said, oh, yeah, we're familiar with something like that. So I assumed you were just going with the same thing.
Wasn't expecting to hear the words dog ejaculatory so many times today.
Well, I said it twice.
Yeah. That's two more than I was expecting.
I'll try to take it easy on you next time. So here we go. Again, this here guy got caught banging a stuffed animal. And hoard. He has a name on him, this guy. He does. His name is Theodore T. Morgavin III. You'd think with a name like that, Josh, you'd be destined for great things in life.
Oh, yeah, he's never been in anything lesser than a Rolls Royce in his time. That's what you'd expect.
Not this guy. For Christ's sake, he was caught in a car in a parking lot at near 1 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, dry boning a stuffed animal.
I mean, we've all had dry spells, but I don't think most people take it that far.
I might someday, depending on the dry spell.
Wapple, virginity had a hold on you for much longer than most folks. You must have bored a hole in a stuffed animal and pumped away on it like it was prom night.
Nope, never have. Ross did.
Now, why do you have to go ahead and do that?
Oh, no.
Can we please stop referencing a guy that quit on this program? How many years ago?
2020. He caused the pandemic. It's true. His last day was the day the world shut down.
That was weird.
If you gave me a stuffed animal right now, I'd bang it.
Which
Just to steer us away from again referencing this prick bastard.
Now let's go back to the dog stuff.
What happened
Gross.
now?
Ashley, you watched that thing, right?
I haven't washed it yet.
Oh.
No.
My God.
I don't want to touch it.
Bet it's just crusty.
I don't want to touch it.
Are you serious?
I don't want
Well, you just use a towel or something and put it in the washing machine.
Honestly, it's so big, the sloth. I don't know if it would even fit in the washing machine. It's a giant
Take
one.
a hose to it. I mean, use some...
you need a flamethrower.
In the backyard with the garden hose.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah. It's so crunchy. You put it in the washing machine. It sounds like you're washing like a bag of rocks.
Who just opened a bag of chips?
Man.
And so, Dana, I was the gross one a few minutes ago. I was too much for you.
I escalated things.
Do you know how this is great? The cop spots this guy banging a stuffed animal in a parking lot in his car. The cop took notice originally. You know, most of us, I think, if we wanted to bang a stuffed animal in a car at 1 o'clock in the morning in a parking lot on a Saturday night, I think we could probably be subtle enough about it. The cop noticed this because the car was a rockin'.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been a rockin' with a partner, much less a stuffed animal.
The cop went and had a look-see and saw old Theo the Third here just blasting this stuffed animal's brains out. I wish I could tell you, it doesn't have brains, but I wish I could tell you what it was. Like if it was a Prezitsu, what's that thing again everyone talks about? A Chichichu?
A Shih Tzu?
No, there's some stuffed animal that I'm missing. A Pupichu?
Pikachu?
Pikachu, that's what I'm... I don't know. Or Josh, do you know what kind of stuffed animal it was?
It didn't say.
It didn't. No, it didn't.
But I'll tell you what, that
Paw
cop...
Patrol.
What'd you say?
I'm guessing like Paw Patrol.
Oh, I hope the cop probably was hoping it wasn't the cop.
No. Paw Patrol.
Not Chase.
Chase, that's right. That's the name. That cop deserves some PTO, don't you think, after seeing something like that?
Yes.
Dude, you ain't kidding.
A grown man rocking in a vehicle with a stuffed animal?
The cop had to pry the two of them apart, and he found a pile of drug garbage in the vehicle, the meth rocks I was talking about. This Theo Part 3, he's pled not guilty for some reason. I'm not sure where he's going to try and go with that.
I would. Wouldn't you get? I don't want to have that on my record. Any desperation move, I definitely would.
I suppose you're right.
Prolong it as long as you can.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I guess, yeah, why
I
not?
I do not want that on my record.
Why not try it? Why not? Well, hell, this guy has an ex-wife and 3 kids.
Ooh.
And mom has to tell the kids now, hey, your dad got in trouble last night. Oh, what did he do? Get drunk again and start trouble at the bar? Well, no, not exactly.
Remember your old stuffed animal?
Oh, yeah.
That's my thing with the stuffed, like banging the stuffed animals, because I picture my childhood teddy bear, and I would never bang Tata. Just for the record,
Tata.
I would never bang Tata.
It's funny, in the one of the articles on this story, they had done the red tape over the eyes of the stuffed animal, to protect his identity.
Oh,
That's
man.
great.
Short but fat Jesus brings up a good point. Now that we know about Ashley's sloth that's been banged to death by the dog, now aren't we glad we weren't invited to her Halloween party?
Oh,
so
absolutely.
We don't need to see that thing.
I should put it on display.
That's sick, dude.
No.
Yeah, there you go. That's what happens when you don't fix those bastards.
Yep.
And the next step is it's going to be gritting its teeth and trying to tear an arm off of you. If history repeats what the problems that my family and I created by not taking the nuts off those damn things. What's up, Wapple?
How long have you had this sloth for?
I've had the sloth for a really long time. He has not started humping it until like the last 2 weeks.
Okay, so you moved in and then he started humping it.
Yes,
Because
yes.
I was going to say, you had to touch it to move it into your new house.
I did not transport the sloth that's being humped. No.
What do you mean? Okay, so how did it get from point A to point B?
No, it wasn't humped yet. It was an unhumped
it was
sloth.
unhumped.
It was
Yes.
in the new house and then it's been humped.
Yes.
Do you think with those sloths they give it a pre-hump at the factory, or your dog just discovered this on his own? Has he humped other things?
He is. If somebody is friendly for him too long, he'll like attempt to try to hump their leg, but he's never humped like an inanimate object. No.
See, we had a Springer Spaniel when we were kids. Purebred, and it was meant to be a hunting dog, and so that's why we didn't take the nuts off of him. Because, we'll breed him too, right?
Yep.
He was purebred.
Pretty.
Gorgeous dog. He was a great dog for a stretch of time, but we didn't take the nuts off of him because he was supposed to be a hunting dog, and then in the future he would have more puppies, and we would make money off the hunting dogs. After a while, it was a mistake. He claimed my mother as his territory, and there was no bargaining with him. Suddenly, he would protect our mother as if my brother and I were complete strangers. And it got nasty. The most interesting episode was when my mom walked in the door from work. Hi, everybody. And the dog raced over to her and eyeballed my brother and I and urinated on my mother's leg while locking eyes with my brother and I as if to say, she's mine, you bastards.
That is so scary.
It became a friggin' problem.
Yeah, he's 4 years old, so I can still get it done. I've been meaning to get to that.
Wait, what? See, now I understand you don't want to do it now that they're full. Oh, that.
Yeah, I talked to a couple people though, and they said I should. I'm still good. They said it's better to do it now than wait any longer, and versus not getting it done. So
I came in from school one day, and my brother was fighting this dog while wearing his hockey gloves. That's how aggressive this damn thing. My brother's going, "You son of a bitch, you!"
I just keep picturing the dog from Click.
Oh, humping the dog.
Yeah, the poor
I don't know that reference.
Oh, I hate that movie. It's so sad.
Oh, Nick, you'd love that movie.
Click?
Yeah, you should watch it.
All right.
Yeah.
Definitely. Don't look it up at all.
Don't look it up.
Yeah, don't go to IMDb and see the stars. Just trust us and watch it. You would love it.
So you guys tried to set me up a couple weeks ago like this, and I found out it was an Adam Sandler movie. There's no way this is also an Adam Sandler movie.
Dude, no.
Of course not.
I'm kind of insulted, actually.
Josh, I'm just trying to protect myself.
Yeah, you should. I mean, that you were tricked once, but...
You wouldn't do that to me. You're my best friend.
We definitely wouldn't do it.
Oh, now
2
he's not
times in a
saying
row.
anything.
My headphones went out.
Well, you guys are just co-workers.
Well, I'm looking at the list. Kate Beckinsale, you like her, don't you?
Kate Beckinsale.
David Hasselhoff.
Oh, I can't stand him.
Julie Kavner.
Don't know who that is.
The voice of The Simpsons.
Yeah. Henry
voice
Winkler?
of the-
You like Henry Winkler?
Are you kidding me? Henry Winkler is one of the greatest Americans
What do
to
you think
ever
of
live.
Jonah Hill?
Not terribly crazy about him.
Adam Sandler. Sean Astin. What do you think?
Sean Astin. I can't stand that dude. That little sawed-off dude.
You don't like him?
No.
Ooh, how about this? The original MILF coming up here. Adam Sandler. And then we got Jennifer Coolidge also on the list.
She's overrated as hell. But anyway.
Oh, do you think she's overrated?
Yes, I thought you said something about Adam Sandler in there.
If I did, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
I'm not going to watch Click because of Sean Astin. Really, honestly, is he the guy who played Rudy?
He is.
Oh, vomit all over myself.
I hate that movie.
I liked him in Stranger Things.
I liked him in Goonies.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course, Goonies.
Never
sure.
saw it. And never saw it. Where should I go next, Josh? Oh, I guess I got a little bit of time. By God, you folks better not... You better watch your ass if you're ever driving around in a town called Savannah, Georgia. I don't know why the hell you'd be down in Georgia anyway in the first place, unless you were trying to find Arn Anderson or Road Dog or somebody.
You're a Bulldog fan.
Oh, you're going to watch a football?
It's peach season.
A fella down there, he must have about filled his drawers the other day. He got a $1.4 million speeding ticket. That's how you take your damn medicine right there.
Have you guys ever received an abnormally high bill, where they made a mistake?
I don't think so, Cubby.
I've received a doctor bill that was outrageous.
Oh, really?
And
oh, yes, Josh. In the early days of cellular telephones. Well, I shouldn't say the early days of cellular telephones because I was the last guy in the neighborhood to get a cellular. The first cellular telephone I received, there was a snafu in my billing, and it was $750 some odd. And I had no idea what was happening. So, yes, once I had that happen. Other than that, I've been pretty lucky.
Yeah, back in the day before it was unlimited text messaging, unlimited voice talk time, phone call time, my high school girlfriend racked up a $950 cell phone bill on her parents' plan for 1 month.
Did you just say your Eskimo girlfriend?
Ex-girlfriend.
Oh, ex-girlfriend.
Your ex-girlfriend racked up what?
A $950 cell phone bill from sending too many text messages.
Man.
Did
they help her out, or?
I think they were able to negotiate it down, but either way, it was a tough couple days in her house.
I also thought you said Eskimo girlfriend.
Maybe I did.
You worked at Blockbuster. It was always great when you go in there and you got a late fee, and they're like, "That'll be $900, or you could buy the movie for $30."
It was insane.
That's how it is at those little the DVD rentals, the Redbox. I'm so bad. I don't allow myself to rent those anymore. Because every single time I hang on to them and then they eventually just charge me for the movie and now I own like Superwoman 3 or something.
Yeah, that's why I have a Blu-ray copy of MacGruber, is that exact scenario.
I had a collection agency after me over the rental of a Nintendo video game. I was absolutely, I often forget to bring this up whenever we talk about video games because you guys are big-time gamers. I've had my run-ins. I fell in love with Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I was hooked on that for a few months until I beat Mike Tyson. I messed around with Grand Theft Auto and a couple others. Maybe the game, it made me unreasonable. Little League Baseball for the old Nintendo machine.
I love that game.
It was so much fun. And I rented it from my neighborhood Super Value. And I just decided I'm just never going to bring it back. And I figured, eventually they'll leave me alone. They're calling me every day. Where's our video game? And I'd say, I don't know what you're talking about. Day after day after day, month after month. Now I've got a collection agency calling me. I had the police department calling me. Please bring this friggin' game. And that's when I finally said, okay, I got to do something about this. But I was very young, stubborn, stupid. So, a very cowardly move, this joint was open 24 hours a day. I waited till 3:30 in the morning, and I ran into the place, and I threw the game, and I ran out. I was convinced that the police were going to be but they were telling me with all the late fees, month after month after month after month, I owed them, I don't remember what it was, but it was ridiculous. That's how stupid and stubborn and hooked I was.
You mentioned Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I had quite a late fee on that one, too. Just didn't want to return it. It would have been so easy just to go in and renew it or whatever, and I just never did.
I can almost remember the lineup that I would put in for my team to this day in Little League Baseball. That's how bad I got. Okay, so this guy got a $1.4 million speeding ticket. His name is Connor. He got the ticket after getting pulled over for driving 90 in a 55 ski. He called the court thinking there's no way this effing ticket could cost anywhere near the number he was given, but he says he was told he either had to pay up or go to court.
$1,480,032.51. The lady told me on the phone, I told her this might be a typo, I don't know, I'm not sure, and I told her the amount it was. And she said, no, sir, that's the correct amount. You either pay the $1.4 million or appear in court on December the 21st at 1:30 p.m.
The maximum for a misdemeanor is $1,000. If it's a misdemeanor of high and aggravated nature, the maximum would be $5,000.
You heard Connor there in the audio. He was the first guy speaking, and that was the last anybody ever heard of him. This dispute ended in a shootout with police. He was killed.
No, I think you're conflating two different stories.
No, that's from the movie Click. Forget it. That was from Click. It was all a mistake. I'm not sure what any of this means, but I'm going to go ahead anyway in case any of you do. The story says that number reflected a placeholder that was automatically generated by e-citation software used by the local recorder's court. Does anyone have any idea what I just said?
Absolutely not.
No. Okay, fair enough.
It was very clear to me.
The actual fine because of this or that law, it can't be more than $1,000.
That's still quite a bit.
Still a lot of money.
Oof.
Picture what day-to-day driving would be like if a speeding ticket was actually 1 million me running dollars. We'd probably, Josh, do you think we'd have even more accidents because people would be wound so tight they would barely be able to control their vehicles?
Well, there's no way. If I'm on a 55, I'm going 45.
Uh-huh.
Nah, I'm not messing with that.
Total nightmare. Oh, wow. People are starting trouble with me via text saying, Baseball Stars was a better game for Nintendo. I don't know these things. I find it hard to believe there could be a better baseball game from that era than Little League Baseball. Some of you said you played it.
Yeah, I love that game.
Do you remember the team that you selected? I remember I was always the New York team.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what team.
They had a pitcher and a power hitter named Saul, who was unbelievable.
Saul was good?
See, I
Saul.
was more of a backyard baseball guy.
Never saw it.
Oh,
different eras.
That's a fun game.
Who was the one guy that was like, if you had
We
him,
just
you were
talked
gonna
about
win?
him. Pueblo.
Oh, yeah, Pablo.
Yeah.
And then the kid in the wheelchair, Wheels, he was super fast,
Heck
too.
yeah, he was.
Any chance you guys can bring this to Wisconsin for the casino party?
You could play it for free on a website.
Show me how. I'll play backyard baseball with you, Wapple. $100 a game.
Whoa.
$100 a pitch.
Let's go.
Jeep thinks she's just on the topic of accidentally being overbilled. She said once went to get an oil change on her Jeep, got a bill for over $300. Apparently they charged her for 100 quarts of oil instead of 10.
That ain't right.
100 quarts of oil.
Man, this thing really goes through oil.
Well, you got to put the plug in before you add the oil.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Going to the bathroom in front of a woman, I don't do that. I don't pass gas. No, hell no.
No, listen, let me tell you what my grandma told me now. Baby, the minute she can use the bathroom and leave the door open, that's the one.
She can't do that.
Yeah,
that ain't
that's
gonna work
the one.
for me. No, that ain't the one. That ain't the
one
one.
right here, I knew she was the one. When she fought in the front of me,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
that's how, oh yeah.
Joe,
that's
I
the
broke.
one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I broke up with a girl for doing that.
Man, stop playing. You left a girl for that? Oh, boy, you a tough crowd, boy.
No.
You a tough crowd, boy.
Oh,
You're
Joe,
a tough
we're
crowd.
in the
Come on
bedroom.
now.
The bathroom right there. 5 steps. No, I don't do that, Ocho.
She got to get up and go out the room.
Go.
Just to
Boy,
pass
don't do
gas?
that. That's disrespectful, man. Stop playing.
Oh, you tripping. Baby, let that out. And I graded too. When she let one out, okay, that was about a 4 right there. Wait, so when she used the bathroom, she got to close the door too?
She goes to a different area of the house. Don't nobody go to the bathroom. If we're both home, nobody goes to the bathroom in the master bathroom. Nobody.
What? Well,
For
you running
the
the
longest
prison. Now.
time,
Come on, man.
I would drive back to Fox, or I would go to the guest house, or I would send her to the store. I was like, you know what? I need something from Whole Foods. I need something from Target. She's like, oh, okay, I'll go get it. And that was my opportunity.
We got to revisit this with Randy Shaver when he swings by in a half hour. I think he'll like this. I never knew I had anything in common with Shannon Sharp other than the fact that we were both at one time great athletes. Shannon Sharp has no tolerance for gassy women. He broke up with a girl for farting.
You broke up with a girl for farting.
I did. This was on a podcast. He and Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, going back and forth on this. And just so you know, Shannon Sharp, it's not as if, he can just drop ass all over the place and the women, don't get the same, what's the word? Thank you, privilege.
Freedoms.
He doesn't believe in farting at all on either side of things.
I love him.
He keeps it to himself. He doesn't like to use the master bathroom. He'll go somewhere else. It's a whole thing. And again, I'd like to bring this up to Randy Shaver because Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco were arguing back and forth about this. You heard Ochocinco say his grandmother told him, that's the woman you want, is the one that will accept your farts. He said she farts in front of him and he grades it and all these horrible, disgusting things.
No, you don't need that.
Horrible things.
The video's funny because just the facial expressions of both guys as they're having the conversation, especially Ocho Cinco. He's making so many great faces.
They have very differing opinions on this. Very differing opinions.
Nightcap with Unc and Ocho. That's the name of the podcast.
Nightcap with Unc and Ocho.
Yeah.
I don't even know what a lot of that means. The Texas Rangers, man, they're giving her hell. Up 2-rip now in the best-of-7 American League Championship Series, and they're going home. They got the better of the Houston Astros last night again by a final of 5-4. And the opener of the National League Championship Series goes to Philadelphia. The final there was 5-3. They took Game 1 over the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tonight, you'll see NLCS Game 2, 7 o'clock on TBS. Maybe when we get Randy Shaver on the line also. He's a degenerate gambler. When we go off to Turtle Lake Casino, Thursday night, Friday night, there'll be baseball games going.
Oh, yeah.
We should try to make some asinine bets.
One of those crazy parlays.
I mean, football bets, I don't know. Who cares? It's a regular season game between Jacksonville and somebody. I'm going to leave that one alone. But these are the championship series. Don't you think it'd be kind of fun? I know nothing about sports gambling anymore. I haven't done it in years. Can we make bets on, say, like, the first batter of the game, whether it's going to be a ground out, a pop-up, a strikeout? Can we make those kinds of bets?
I don't think they do prop bets at St. Croix Casino.
Okay. Well, we'll look into it. We'll look into it because there's other fun things we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And Randy might be able to help us out.
Maybe we should have one of those, one of the employees on Friday to kind of explain some of that for folks that are there.
Oh, that'd be a good
like
idea.
you, I could use a tutorial. Last year, I got in a little too late to try and put some bets in, and I was totally confused. There was a guy we work with who's like, I got you, man. I could show you. We went over there. He had no idea what he was doing. So I'd like to figure that out myself.
It's something we could get involved in. Why not?
But also, there's ridiculous college football games on Thursday nights that no one cares about.
Oh, those are fun, too, to bet on.
You can put bets on those.
All right, something's going to give. And we'll end up losing a lot of money, but whatever. Monday Night Football last night. Who cares? Dallas beat the Chargers. Randy's going to be here in a half hour. Josh's news is coming up.
Dick Bremer, too, right?
Yeah, oh, God, I forgot about Dick Bremer because the Twins are done, but Dick Bremer and the Twins and the Josh's news.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum.
Let's get inside of Anthony LaPaglia. My grandmother will be 95 in June. I haven't drank water in 95 years. Look at me. Do I need water? You look a little dehydrated.
A little bit. Your skin's a little dry. And when I do drink, it bores me.
Yeah.
Just drinking it, I start to nod off.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Wherever you listen.
Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
It's not a joke. We call it, real threats equal real regrets.
Criminal charges have been filed against an Eagle Mountain, Utah woman who tried to get her friends out of trouble by unwisely reporting a false school shooting in an effort to divert officers from arresting her pals. Police were investigating a series of car burglaries that day. An Apple Watch was stolen in one of those robberies, and the owner contacted police to say she was tracking the location. An officer stopped the vehicle believed to have stolen the watch inside and questioned 25-year-old Emery Hall and 30-year-old Aubrey Snow. The officer noticed several bags and other items in the car they believed were stolen. While the officer was waiting for a warrant, emergency dispatchers received a report that someone was heading to a local high school with an AK-47 to, quote, do some damage. This resulted, of course, in an emergency response from at least 40 officers from multiple agencies, including the officer investigating the car burglaries, and the entire school was evacuated and cleared. As that investigation into the school threat progressed, detectives determined the purpose of the threat was to divert the officer from his traffic stop, and there was no real threat to the school. Following a lengthy investigation, police learned the call about the school shooting came from a phone owned by 45-year-old Dorothy Morin. It was also found that just prior to the threat call, Hall had called Morin, which is when they came up with the idiotic plan.
That's very smart.
So dumb.
Mm-hmm.
She's in so much trouble.
Oh, yeah.
That's how you do it right
Girl,
there.
screw your friends.
A West Virginia teacher has been charged after a student reported 4 incidents involving duct tape that took place in the middle of class. During the course of the investigation, a boy stated his teacher, 43-year-old Cassandra Sisler, put duct tape over his mouth from ear to ear October 2nd in the middle of class. The next day, Sisler put duct tape over the juvenile's mouth from ear to ear again, and again in the middle of class. Then the day after that, October 4th, she once again is alleged to have duct taped the boy's mouth from ear to ear, but this time she also grabbed his hands and wrapped his wrists in duct tape. Additionally, the juvenile stated that October 5th, she escalated the seriousness of the situation by bringing in stronger tape, which she then wrapped around his entire head, over his mouth, and even onto his shoulders.
My kid can't come home and say, the teacher scared me today, or I don't want to go back. She was mean to me today. She put her hands on me today. Just makes me wonder what else has gone on in that classroom that I'm not aware of.
The school board said they couldn't comment on Sisler's current employment status, but noticed they were cooperating with authorities and taking all necessary actions while the situation's being investigated. She was taken into custody on Friday. I'd love to know what the dispute was over, what was going on between the two of them.
I want to know if it was, someone just brought this up not that long ago. What's that tape they advertise on television where you can basically just make a boat out of it and put a 20 horse on the back?
Flex tape. I've got some of that.
Flex tape?
Yeah.
That stuff is good.
But can you really make a boat out of it and hang a 20 horse Johnson on the back and go across the lake to do some crappie
Well,
fishing?
you patch your canoe or something like that.
Oh, is that what you do?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different ad.
A teacher's been permanently banned from the profession after he repeatedly watched pornography with his students.
Shocking. It was like weird. Why would you do that? It's kids.
The IT teacher was caught on several occasions allowing his students to access and view pornographic images on the interactive whiteboard at the school for 12 to 18-year-olds in Kent, England.
Man, I wish I had a teacher who would have done that.
The 61-year-old used a quiz program to access the explicit content at the school and was shown on security video enlarging a pornographic image on the screen for better visibility. On one occasion, it's alleged he used his staff-level key fob to grant access to porn material which a student key fob wouldn't have allowed. He was also accused of failing to discipline and report pupils who were simulating sex acts in his class.
Oh, man, what a riot.
This guy likes to party.
When I was 16, I would have gotten an A in that class. Watch porn with the teacher. I would have done well.
And that would have been impressive if you got an A in IT somehow.
Oh, no doubt
Very
about
impressive.
it, Cubby. Absolutely.
A Florida woman allegedly beat up her own mother after an argument last week and then stole her car and then hit her with it.
Oh, come on.
25.
Guys, I'm not afraid to fight my mother. I don't know about the rest of you.
You wouldn't hit her with her car, though, not her own car.
Well, it depends on how far she took it.
25-year-old Amber Rusnick was pictured grinning wildly in a psychotic-looking mugshot released by the Brevard County Sheriff's Office after she was booked on charges of aggravated battery and carjacking for the Thursday rampage. That's on 93x.com, right?
Yep.
A witness called 911 around noon that day to report the mayhem. Meanwhile, cops hunted for Rusnick, who fled in her mom's car. They later found the abandoned vehicle, and a deputy and his canine tracked her down while she was trying to hide nearby.
I got up and I saw officers running on the side of my house into the backyard. So I went on my back porch, and they were all in the backyard with this female.
Cops didn't say what the mother-daughter duo were arguing about, but they were very familiar with Rusnick, who's been arrested 4 times this year and 10 times in less than 5. She could face more charges as their investigation progresses.
Just a good old scrap with mom.
Yeah, and fathers and sons, they're not immune. A father-son trip to clean out a relative's garage and do some yard work ended with the father being flown to the hospital and the son being held in jail. Police in Pennsylvania said the 20-year-old son, Mason Jack, called to say he shot his dad after they began arguing about some of the lawn equipment, specifically a weed whacker that wasn't working. According to the arrest report, Jack claimed that he left to go home, but his father followed. And the argument escalated with Jack admitting to telling his father to get the F out of my house.
Okay.
Then troopers said Jack went to another room. His father followed, and they each pulled out handguns they both had holstered.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
After a brief standoff, each allegedly reached for the other's gun. There was a struggle. Both men dropped their weapons, and they physically struck each other. According to the affidavit, Jack ran into another room where he admitted getting a second weapon, a .357 Magnum revolver, and then returning. Then police say Jack claimed he lost his glasses and couldn't see what his father was doing, but he was worried that his dad might try and shoot him, so he shot his dad first.
Oh.
Our office, along with the Pennsylvania State Police, are continuing to investigate. However, the injuries were not life-threatening. A decision was made to file a charge that the evidence that we had on hand supported. We didn't have any evidence of intent to kill.
As a matter of fact, he did immediately begin to render aid to his dad. Authorities said the 47-year-old victim suffered a single gunshot wound to the abdomen, but is expected to recover in time for the next family quick draw contest.
Yeah, you know, all families deal with disputes differently, don't they, Josh?
Yeah, we've never escalated that far.
Never had a gunfight?
Not yet.
No, nobody's ever been armed. Top Gun will soon be a reality television show.
Oh, no.
Top Gun: The Next Generation is coming to Nat Geo. The show will follow Navy student pilots every step of the way as they embark on some of the most challenging flight tests possible. This will reportedly be the first time this level of access has been given to the pilot training program. A premiere date hasn't yet been announced. Monster-nado is the latest in a series of movies like Sharknado, Zombievers, Shocktopus, and Piranhaconda. In the new film, a tornado infested with prehistoric monsters has formed in the Bermuda Triangle,
Of course.
making its way toward land. You'll see megalodons, pterodactyls, giant octopuses, crocodiles, and more. Monster-nado will, go straight to digital? That doesn't make sense. Next month on the 14th.
A Piranhaconda looks scary.
I wouldn't mess with one. And Hollywood has finally wised up and put Chuck Norris in a zombie movie, because when Chuck Norris gets bitten by a zombie, Chuck Norris doesn't turn into a zombie. The zombie turns into Chuck Norris. Norris and Vanilla Ice will battle the undead in Zombie Plane. Shot earlier this year in Australia, Chuck and Vanilla will be playing themselves as government-trained celebrities to be undercover agents who can kick zombie butt. No word yet on when that, I'd imagine, masterpiece is coming out.
That sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
I do want to watch Zombie Plane, for sure.
You're not going to do the Chuck Norris and Vanilla Ice feature?
Me?
Or is that Zombie Plane?
That's Zombie Plane.
Oh, that
yeah.
is Zombie.
Yeah.
I got confused with Monster-nado and Zombie. God help us all.
It was announced yesterday comedian Pete Davidson will be making a stop at Mystic Lake Casino this winter. The former Saturday Night Live star will perform at the Mystic Showroom Sunday, December 10th at 8 p.m. The 29-year-old just hosted the season premiere of Saturday Night Live, just months after the end of his 8-season run as a cast member. Tickets start at $82 and are available Friday morning at 10. I forget, Ashley, isn't he your guy? I thought you loved him.
Oh, yes, I do.
So
Very much.
You'll be at the show?
I hope so.
The West Metro's about to get a lot more hunky this week. Actor Jason Momoa is back home in the Midwest to promote his new line of vodka. The Aquaman actor, who grew up in Iowa, will appear at 2 Twin Cities liquor stores Friday as he winds up a North American tour. For the opportunity to gaze upon the Game of Thrones star, plan to line up at 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. at Total Wine & More in Minnetonka, or from 1:30 to 3 p.m. at Costco in St. Louis Park. You got to be at least 21 years old to attend the free event.
Well, that's going to be a gangbang, right?
I would think so.
What one are you going to be at, Josh?
It's fun. I was talking to Dana.
Oh, you told me this. Yeah.
Did I tell you?
Well, I told them off the air about how we're contemplating driving back after the show to go meet them.
Yeah, we have a couple hours after the show Friday before we come back for dinner. It's like, could I go and get back in time? I might be able to do it if I hit the early one.
I think you could do it.
I don't know. I know my wife is a fan, and I don't want her there alone. That's the main reason I think I want to go. More celebrities coming to town. Ted Lasso may have ended this summer, but Brett Goldstein is just getting started. The comedian, who you may know as the show's hilariously grumpy soccer star turned slightly less grumpy soccer coach, Roy Kent, has some shows remaining on his ongoing The Second Best Night of Your Life stand-up comedy tour, and 3 of those stops are in Minneapolis this week. Brett will be performing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Northrop Auditorium. And finally, comedian and actor Chevy Chase will be in Rochester this Christmas to answer questions following a screening of the festive classic National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Chase and his wife will be at the Mayo Civic Center, 6:30 p.m. December 13th, where they'll be sharing behind-the-scenes stories and answering your questions in person following the screening of the film.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'd be interested in going to that. I love that movie.
I know you're a Chevy Chase guy.
I definitely am. Absolutely. The creator of Office Space, Beavis and Butthead, and King of the Hill, Mike Judge, 61 today. Jason Sudeikis' uncle, the great George Wendt, Norman Cheers, 75.
Oh, I watch him every weeknight still.
Are you still watching Cheers every day?
Reruns. Oh, God, yes, I can't stop.
I didn't know that. It's been a while for me. Boy, that was a regular, though.
Oh, I mean,
Such a good show.
More than anything, I love the late 80s into the early 90s when Frasier's character was really perfectly developed, the this and that between he and Lilith. I'm a sucker for that stuff. And Cliff Clavin, of course.
Oh, he's so good. He's the best. I had an uncle. Well, you met my uncle, Gazorbiak, my uncle. He was very Cliff Clavin growing up. You'd always have a fact. About 50% of the time, you might be right.
Right.
But
Okay.
he'd always have some sort of interesting fact, and his delivery was just like Cliff Clavin's.
I can totally see that.
One of my uncles always called him the mailman for that reason. We wanted to send our thoughts and well wishes to a loyal Brotherhood stud named Dan. I was told he was in a bad motorcycle accident earlier this month. And if you're listening, Dan, your wife sent a very nice email about you, Amy, and she let us know about it. So, of course, we'll be thinking of you during your recovery, and we'll have to buy you a beer once you get better.
Yeah, man.
She loves my toe-handed Jesus text in a happy birthday shout-out to his smoking hot wife. Happy 16th birthday to Emmy, a.k.a. always puts ketchup on her hot dog sandwich, Jesus, from Mom and Dad. Coal-fired Jesus wishes a happy anniversary to her husband who's out hunting while she said she's working her butt off on the night shift. And happy anniversary to the sexy Emma from your sexy husband, Acid Reflux Jesus. And that's 93X News.
Minnesota Twins interview on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Down 5-0 at one point. Phillies set up for a double play ball. That would end the game and secure this game one victory. On the ground, a hot one, backhanded, boom. Throw to second, out, stop, throw to first. It's in time, and it's a double play. And the game is over. The Phillies win game one.
Now Jose Altuve, the final hope for the Astros in game two.
Fly ball center field. Taveras comes on. The call, the catch, the win in game two. A nail biter that goes Texas way, 5-4, and they lead this best of 7, 2 games to none.
Yeah, there you go. Randy Shaver.
Good morning.
Good to have you back.
Oh, it's nice to be back. I didn't know I left, but it's nice to be back.
Well, I imagine
you black out every once in a while.
I do.
Lost
Josh.
consciousness at one point or another between yesterday and today.
It's not uncommon for
no.
you to lose consciousness.
No, not at your age. It's a bittersweet kind of a feeling this morning on the Half-Assed Morning Show. Nothing lasts forever. But this will be our final chat of the baseball season with Twins play-by-play pimp and the mayor of Minnesota baseball, Dick Bremer. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning, everybody.
This is it. This is the final.
It was a good ride, though, wasn't it? We had a good regular season, and the Twins had a good postseason. Not as long as we would like it to have been, but all in all, it was a wonderful baseball season in 2023.
I can't argue with that. We had the highest of hopes when we talked to you last, Dick, but the Twins season ended right here in town in the divisional round, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. And it was probably... yes, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, you look at the 4 teams that are still playing, and the Twins won the season series against all 4 of them, and, I don't think that they would have been overmatched by any of the 4 teams left. It just didn't work out.
We had a blast. While it was still rolling, but God, the Astros playing in the American League Championship Series for the 7th year in a row. I think I have that correct.
Yeah.
I think the only team that ever topped that, Dick Bremer, was maybe Bobby Cox with his Atlanta Braves there in the early 90s.
Yeah, they won, 14 divisions in a row and got to the World Series a couple of times, and oddly only won one World Series during that time.
Right.
That's with just, one playoff round before the World Series back then. So it's even tougher to get to the World Series now with all the different layers of playoff competition. But, yeah, that was really remarkable, all the good teams that they had, and just kind of underscores even back then how tough it is to get to the World Series and win it.
Mm-hmm. The Texas Rangers they're giving her hell. They're giving her right now, and they've got a 2-0 lead in the American League Championship Series going home.
And really loved how they got that early lead. No home runs, a lot of base hits up the middle into the opposite field, and for old timers like me, that was kind of refreshing to see. A team take control of a game without relying on the home run. They got one later on in the ball game, but yeah, and Houston, for whatever reason, sellout crowds and all that, they can't seem to win at home for some reason.
Boy, was that Valdez sweating it out there in the first inning, or what?
Yeah, and the Twins knocked him around too, and won in Houston with him on the mound. The Astros had kind of an uneven, shall we say, off-season where their general manager left. They really didn't do much of anything to address their starting rotation other than cross their fingers with Jacob deGrom, and now or that was with the Texas Rangers, but right. Houston never really did anything to address their starting pitching, and ultimately that may be what keeps them out of the World Series.
Yeah, for the Rangers, Eovaldi looks so good. Montgomery looked terrific in Game 1. So the Rangers win 5-4 last night. They took a quick lead and held on. They win 5-4 last night.
And they've got Scherzer's supposed to go in Game 3, I believe.
Oh, man. Randy Shaver, what do you think of Max Scherzer coming fresh off an injury?
I think I think they're set up for even more success. They have gotten every big hit in their games. Their pitching has been fabulous. I guess I'll be surprised if they don't win this series.
What's his name did a cartwheel at the plate last night? What's the?
That was hilarious.
He's a goofy Garcia. Yeah, he's a fun guy to watch.
He is.
Out
he's
on
a hell of a player
and
too.
he had I think did the pitch hit him on the foot?
Yeah.
Inside pitch hit him on the foot, and he did a cartwheel. Whatever, no big deal. So they're up 2-0 in the best of 7 going home, and the Philadelphia Phillies they look ready to roll. Right on through. Now, it's only one game into the series, but they just look ready to roll. They win last night 5-3 over the air. I love the Arizona Diamondbacks. I love the underdog aspect of things. But the Phillies got the win in the opener. They'll play Game 2 tonight. Now, the American League guys catch a break, get a day off. Game 2 of the NLCS tonight on TBS at 7 o'clock. I know that we here in Minnesota, we've got a little bit of bitterness between ourselves and Philadelphia sports fans going back to that Vikings NFC title game a few years ago, and the Philly fans were throwing garbage at the elderly or something. I can't remember. But you got to be impressed by the level of hell that crowd raises. It is fun to watch a game from the Phillies ballpark.
It is cool. It's like an NFL type atmosphere. It's just so intense. Usually baseball, you're kind of used to the more, big moments and big pops, but a lot of it is just kind of casual. But it seems like they're fired up all 9 innings.
Yeah. You ever had any problems with the Philly people, Dick Bremer, and all your travels?
No, we were there this year and got a sample of the Philly fandom. It was a kind of a big weekend for them. They had kind of a reunion weekend they brought Jim Cott in, and Steve Carlton was there and all that. But that little sound clip that you played at the start of our segment here reminded me of the crowd noise at Target Field. And if the Phillies fans are to be commended for being so loyal and fiercely loyal and loud and all that, well, that's kind of what we had at Target Field in October this year.
You're not kidding, and I'm glad you mentioned that. There was another level from that crowd in the Toronto series and in the Houston series that I didn't expect. I go to 20-25 Twins games a year, and I know the regular season is very different than the playoffs, and we should all take it to another level as fans in the playoffs. I did not expect that kind of roar out of the Target Field crowd.
And a lot of it was spontaneous. Some of it, as I think we discussed last week, was prompted by the video boards and all that. Let's go Twins, but a lot of it was organic and started from the fans themselves. Even at some of the down moments, the rough first inning that Sonny Gray had, but the fans were unrelenting. They kept supporting the team, and that really bodes well for the future. The players on the field, the Royce Lewises in the world, signify, I think, a pretty bright future for the Twins. But the fans were there; they were really supportive. It was just a wonderful atmosphere, and Twins hope to recreate all that again next year.
I mean, was it 2-for-1s during those games or what? I mean, it was just Randy Shaver, I think you said, did you not say this, or maybe it was Dick? Had there been a lid on the joint?
I said that.
Go ahead. Had there been a lid on the joint, we might have surpassed even what the kind of noise they made in 91 and 87, if that's possible.
Well, I just said that I have never heard an outdoor ballpark that loud, and if you had put a roof on Target Field, that noise level would have evened or been louder than the Metrodome. The Metrodome was insane. The only time baseball was truly fun at the Metrodome was playoff baseball, because it was a home field advantage really like no other. The National League didn't play the American League back then, and so when they came into the ballpark, they had never played inside that place. They didn't know the roof, they didn't know the sound, they didn't know the quirks of the ballpark, and it was a definite advantage. And Target Field was just super, super loud, and what a great atmosphere for playoff baseball. It just was really tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to
I'd
see
agree
it
with you,
back.
Randy, and then you have to remember that there were 40,000 at Target Field, and the Metrodome held 55,000. But the 40,000, I think, were louder than the 55,000, and I can say that because I was part of the 40,000 and part of the 55,000.
Yeah, Dick was there. Dick was there. But again, I want to restate this, and I know I said this a few months ago. If you want to talk about wild times at the Metrodome back in the day, you should have gone to a few of those Brewers series when the Brewers were still in the American League. Because every dude at the ballpark had a mustache and was not wearing a shirt, all right?
That was the dress code.
And some of the women were...
I was there for that. I looked around and said, this is what it means to be a grown-up? This is ridiculous. Look at these people. No one had a shirt on. The air conditioning didn't work. So, speaking of, you mentioned a minute ago, Dick Bremer, things are looking up. You mentioned Royce Lewis, and wow, I mean, and some of these other younger guys, Julian and Wallner, and who am I missing? Some of the young players. Things are looking up.
Kirilloff wasn't a rookie, but he's still a young guy. Right. Ryan Jeffers he's 26 years old, I think. We tend to think of Ryan as being around forever, but he's still a pretty young guy, too, and should get better.
And you look at the guys that are in St. Paul, Brooks Lee, guys like that are coming. I mean, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, when this group is all together, it's going to be pretty good. There's just no doubt.
So with all that said, obviously one of the positives for the Twins going forward is this youth movement and all these talented young fellas who look like they're only going to get better. Dick Bremer, Randy Shaver, what would you tweak going into next season? What were some of the weak spots that you think need to be worked on?
Well, they got to figure out.
Well, the Twins at times were a little vulnerable to left-handed pitching, and so you'd like to think there'd be some right-handed batters that might be available to put into the lineup. But then Carlos Correa is going to be better at the plate next year than he was this year. Royce Lewis hopefully will be healthy all year long. Byron Buxton, I mean, a good reason that the Twins struggled against lefties is some of their better right-handed hitters either were hurt or weren't as productive as their resume would suggest. So a lot of that can be taken care of internally, I would think.
Randy?
I also would say that they've got to find a better approach at the plate, because the strikeouts really were very, very hurtful for this lineup.
Hurtful.
I mean, that's just something that you can fix. That's not necessarily bringing in different players or anything. That's just a mindset of being able to be a little bit more patient at the plate. And, when you've got young players, sometimes that happens. But it was way too many. I think we all agree with that.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
The first loss to Houston at home, 15 strikeouts and 14 the next day. Well, do the math. That's more than half your outs are on, at bats where no ball was even put in play. And you're right, Randy. That's too many. I don't, it's something that can be fixed, but I think you need to kind of change your offensive approach a little bit too within that to try to put the ball in play with 2 strikes.
Yeah, they were.
Do you think they'll keep Sonny Gray, Dick?
I know Sonny would love to come and stay, come back to the Twins and stay. He's bounced around a little bit, Oakland, New York, Cincinnati, and I think he would like to find or has found a home in Minnesota. But it's hard to tell in free agency, given what he did in his final season under his current deal with the Twins, what he did in 2023. I suspect they're going to be a long line of suitors. He was healthy. He was really, really good. Got a great, bulldog mentality. So he'll do what's in the best interest of Sonny Gray, and that's his right as a free agent.
Now, I hate to even bring this up because I love the guy so much, and I want the best for him so badly. What does the both of you? What do you think's to come of Byron Buxton?
Well, he's under contract.
He's 30 years old, right? I mean, and he had another injury-ruined season.
Yeah.
They put him through a procedure to remove some little, tissue in his right knee, and hopefully that'll take care of it. I think I've said it on this show before. It's got to be frustrating when you're a 5-tool guy like Byron is, and you only use 1.5 of those tools.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't run really, couldn't play in the field, and when he could hit for power at times. But I don't see him as a productive designated hitter because I don't think that's how he's wired. I think the procedure that they did hopefully will take care of the knee and we'll see him back out there in center field. But, we won't know that till March of next year.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, I've just been a massive fan from the word go, and I so badly want to see him succeed that I get worried that this or that might, cause him to play for some other ball club, and I don't want to see that happen. Oh, my goodness. I mentioned this is a bittersweet visit with Dick Bremer because this is it. Baseball season and our conversations on Twins baseball will cease until hopefully you come back next season. By the way, Dick, is there anything that we can do to improve this segment? I'm not afraid to fire somebody.
Well, I think you get rid of everybody, just you and me, Nick. I think that would be the best thing to do.
Oh, God. Can anyone see the tears in my eyes right now?
You're emotional, aren't you?
Someone used the word hurtful earlier. It's made a comeback.
Hey, I want to go on record as saying I've really enjoyed this the last few years, and I hope whatever the future holds that we can keep doing this. This has been a lot of fun for me, and we've had some interesting topics, baseball related and otherwise, but it's been a delight for me to be a part of this.
Well, we appreciate that very much, and we love having you on every Tuesday. So the sweet part, though, is knowing that Dick is kicked back and enjoying his time off. So, Dick, what's going on? Fishing? Are you planning a faraway tropical vacation? What's going on?
Well, yesterday was a wonderful day. I played golf during the day, and I went out fishing at night. Actually, the golfing went better for me than the fishing, but we'll maybe give it another try here tonight. The weather, this is my favorite time of the year with the fall colors and everything, so just kicking back and doing a lot of the stuff I don't have the time to do during the baseball season.
What about the beaches and things like that? Will you go off to Matzalan, or what do you call that place? Will you go
Senior Frogs.
Yeah, will you hit Senior Frogs with the Spring Breakers?
Yeah, I usually wait for that until spring training. I might go down in January and play in the Twins fantasy camp, as I've done most years over the last 25 or 30. I haven't done it the last few years, but they give you a uniform. You try to play baseball, which is, a significant undertaking for those of us who couldn't play when we were 18 years old to try to play when we're much older. But it's a good time, and the former Twins, like Blylevin and Viola and people like that, are the coaches, so it's a good time. I might do that this year.
Oh, that's great. Those events sound like so much fun. So much fun. And if I didn't hate traveling so much, I would love to be a part of something like that someday.
Nick, you would love doing that.
You've done it, right, Randy?
I did 34 years ago. I did that.
Well, what happened? You hurt yourself, never went back, or what?
No. I just the Twins were nice enough to invite some media people to take. I think it was one of the first fantasy camps that they had done, and I think it was at Tinker Field, if I'm not mistaken. And
that was a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And so Tommy Hanneman, the late great Tommy Hanneman from Channel 4 was there, and we just had a blast. And Harmon was part of the group, and
so you got out on the ball field.
Oh yeah.
So what element of the game did you still have? Did you say, man, I still got this part of it down?
None of it. None of it. But the best part was just pretending that you did.
Yeah.
And that's what I found with all the guys that were there. Nobody was a superstar. Everybody was just trying to have a little piece of their youth, whether it was to field a ground ball successfully and throw a guy out, or make contact at the plate. But it was a blast. It was really a lot of fun, and the Twins make it that way. And I'm sure it's even better now than it was when I took part a long time ago.
Were there any players there that had recently retired that were still trying to prove they had it? Going at maybe going a little bit harder than some of the old timers.
You talking about the fantasy camp guys?
Yeah.
Not really. They were mostly older guys. I think everybody was just there to hear the stories and just to hang. I mean, really, honestly, to hang around Harmon Killebrew. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just too much, and it was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun.
That's great to hear. The amount of text messages coming in right now, just simply wishing you well in the off season, Dick Bremer, and thanking you for being a part of this program are impressive right now. You got a lot of fans here that listen to 93X, Mr. Bremer.
Well, I appreciate that. And again, this has really been fun for me over the last, our third year, I guess, something like that. And it speaks to how much I enjoy it. I actually look forward to waking up on a Tuesday morning to be with you folks.
That means a lot to us, more than maybe you'll ever know. Go out and have the best off-season imaginable, Dick Bremer, and we look forward to having you back next year. It's been a blast.
All right, we'll be listening.
Thank you, Dick.
Thanks, Dick.
There you go.
You got it.
Dick Bremer off and catching fish.
He's got that playoff beard already working.
I bet you're right.
I forgot to ask him if he had a beard cooking.
He jumped on live with me the Twins game, was it Game 4 Wednesday last week?
I'll go along with it.
And we did our newscasts out there live at 5 and 6, and he jumped on live with me at 5 o'clock.
And he had the beard.
And he was already in playoff beard mode. So,
you know who can grow a great beard is Cubby over there.
I know.
It's been a while for me.
Bring it back.
I mentioned before, my wife hates my face, so she likes it.
She likes it covered.
Yeah, she does like it covered.
All right, Randy Shaver, what else is going on? Monday Night Football, who gives a rat's ass? Dallas beat the Los Angeles Clippers.
Yep, the Clippers.
That's right. They beat the Clippers.
The Chargers. All right.
Yep.
I didn't watch any of the game. I was watching baseball.
I watched a little bit of it.
But then this morning.
It was kind of a boring game.
Was it boring?
It was.
Did you watch some of it, Josh?
Yeah, I watched the first half.
Yeah.
But then this morning.
Are the Chargers really not that good? I haven't watched them much
Actually,
this year.
I think the Chargers, they've had some injury issues. I think Eckler, this was his first game back in a while. They've had some injury issues. They just, I don't know, for whatever reason, there's so much hype always surrounding them, and they just never really live up to it.
I think the hype is because their uniforms are gorgeous.
Yeah,
I do like their uniforms.
Oh, I love that old school thing.
Yeah, it reminds me of Lance Allworth.
Oh,
when I see that.
Number 19.
Colors, yeah.
Number 19. Lance Allworth. But so I didn't watch the game. But this morning, Josh sends me, this article and that article. I fell in love with that overly emotional female Chargers fan. Was that gal cute or what?
Very pretty.
My damn, and she's just a roller coaster of emotions, and she's terribly happy when they scored a touchdown and then crushed when they gave up a field goal. Is that up on our website?
Yes, it is.
She went out to dinner with Aikman after the game, too. I bet.
He's got that charm.
He does.
Randy, we've been kind of waiting. I've been waiting. I don't know if the rest of you are as excited as I am.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. Josh is into this, too. Well, this is right up Randy's alley. We talked about it earlier, but we wanted to revisit the subject with you. I never knew I had anything in common with Shannon Sharp, other than the fact that we were both at one time great athletes. It says here, Shannon Sharp has no tolerance for farting women.
Going to the bathroom in front of a woman, I don't do that. I don't pass gas. No, hell no.
No, listen, let me tell you what my grandma told me now. Baby, the minute she can use the bathroom and leave the door open, that's the one.
She can't do that.
Yeah,
that ain't
that's
gonna work
the one.
for me. No, that ain't the one. That ain't the one
right here. I knew she was the one. When she fought in front of me.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
That's how, oh yeah.
Joe,
yeah,
I broke up with a girl for doing that.
Man, stop playing. You left a girl for that? Oh, boy, you a tough crowd, boy.
No.
You a tough crowd, boy.
Joe,
you're a tough
we're
crowd.
in the
Come on,
bedroom. The bathroom right there. 5 steps. No, I don't do that, Ocho.
She gotta get up and go out the room.
Go. Boy, don't do that. That's disrespectful, man. Stop playing.
Oh, you tripping. You tripping. Baby, let that out. And I graded too. When she let one out, okay, that was about a 4 right there.
Gross.
Wait, so when she use the bathroom, she gotta close the door too?
She goes to a different area of the house. Don't nobody go to the bathroom. If we're both home, nobody goes to the bathroom in the master bathroom. Nobody.
What? Well, you running to prison.
I would drive back to Fox, or I would go to the guest house, or I would send her to the store. I was like, you know what? I need something from Whole Foods. I need something from Target. She's like, oh, okay, I'll go get it. And that was my opportunity.
Did you go to your guest house, Randy?
Now, what you're hearing there is Shannon Sharp and Chad Ochocinco having a spirited argument about farting and making...
not necessarily them.
Making number twos. Well, you hear Shannon Sharp say that he broke up with a woman for farting in front of him once. And that I did that too. It's a long time ago. Shannon Sharp won't fart in front of a lady friend. And if she has any hopes of a lasting relationship with him, she better not launch one in front of him either.
We've mentioned it before, and you heard Ocho Cinco say it. For some people, it's a relationship milestone, right? It's once you hit there, you're closer than you were before that.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't really.
We've had so many spirited conversations on this topic. I so am the opposite of what Josh just described about Chad Ochocinco. He was making me want to vomit. What did he say?
He ranks them on a scale.
He grades his fiance's farts.
That's a 4 right there.
That's a 4 right there.
He said, baby, let that out.
Oh,
and
gross.
I grade it. When she let one out, I say that was about a 4 right there. That was a good one.
And I love that Chad invokes his grandma as the one that gave him that little pearl, that little nugget.
He did
what
say
the heck, Grandma?
His grandmother told him, there it is, okay. His grandma told him once, as soon as he finds a woman who can use the bathroom with the door open, that's the one. And Shannon Sharp is the exact opposite. Now, it's not like, maybe you could tell this from the conversation, but the guys are going so fast. It's not as if Sharp is allowed or allows himself to just be disgusting and fart and deuce all over the apartment, and his woman has to
go run off and do it somewhere else.
Right, his woman has to hold it in or whatever. He also puts these rules on himself. He never goes to the bathroom in front of his woman. Like you heard him say, he'll drive somewhere or go to his guest house or send her to the store, and then he takes the opportunity to stink the joint up.
I mentioned the other day I pulled that move a couple months ago with my new girlfriend.
Yeah, you drove somewhere?
Yeah. I was like, oh, we probably should get some stuff at the store for tonight, so I'll go run and take care of that myself. And then I went and took care of business and came back with the... thank God I didn't forget the stuff that I was faking that we needed.
This is when you first started hanging out with this gal? Yeah, I had to do the same things when I was in brand new relationships with women. I had some horrible horrible close calls. But I knew I could not.
Who is in charge of the sound effects?
What sound effects?
These are clips of former appearances from Janelle Klein.
Oh.
Oh my God.
That was a wet one.
They're subtle. They're
I don't even like when my boyfriend will tell me when he has to go to the bathroom.
I don't like any conversation about it, any hints at it at all.
No, I don't even like walking into the bathroom and like the vent is on and it smells like there's been Febreze in there. Because I'm like, I know what's happened here.
Well, so there you go. These two guys are going to argue back and forth on this until the end of time.
So actually, you've never cut wind in front of a guy?
No.
Not even on accident?
Nope.
I almost got sick there by hearing you say cut wind.
Yeah.
Out of respect to Ashley, I was not going to use the F word because I know how much she hates it.
That is nice of you.
She does hate the F word.
You know, a buddy of mine lived in a small apartment with his woman's for a while, and she was so repulsed by him that she said he was no longer allowed to use their one bathroom. He had to go down to the lobby of the apartment when he had to.
Well, you've told the story about a friend of yours who never looked at his wife the same way after he discovered what happened in the bathroom.
That is a true story. Yeah. She left one in the camper.
Oh.
And I don't mean like on the floor in the middle. She left it in the camper bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And the next morning, you know, they're pulling up the stakes. They're leaving the campground. He had to empty the tank before he saw what she left behind. And he told me straight to my face, he said, I don't think I could ever be in love with her again. He said, I've fallen out of love.
Oh, my gosh.
This text says, my wife sends me pictures of hers.
Oh,
what?
This text says, my husband would love to watch me go if he could.
Yeah, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it all wrong. Every little bit of that is wrong.
How did we get on that subject? Okay, let's.
What do you mean? We were talking about Ocho Cinco and what's his name?
But it's taken it to a different level.
Shannon
this. Sharp.
Shannon Sharp was on the radio a minute ago. Yes. I love how you act like this isn't totally your style of humor.
It is your style of humor.
Laughing over there.
All right, fine. We can go in a different direction.
It's not. No.
How about that video going around of all the Chicago Bears fans attempting to beat each other to death at the ball game on Sunday?
That was infuriating, especially the one guy who had the courage to sucker punch dudes that were engaged in other fights and then go jump on guys who were already getting beat up by two other guys. You know who I'm talking? And the guy looked like he's in his 50s.
It's so horrible. It's so horrible. Usually I make a point, and Josh does too. We make a point of avoiding these stories because I'm so sick of it. Right. You know, TMZ.com.
Oh, yeah, there's a ton of those.
Every Sunday night, Monday morning, look at the fight that happened at the Cardinals game. And usually it's not much of a fight. And it's like, who cares? Why do you keep covering these things? But,
you know, the Vikings it's a Vikings-related story, right? I mean, there's that. And then this particular guy.
Exactly.
I hope he gets in some huge trouble.
What made me want to bring it up is just what Josh described. This guy is such a coward, hitting some bitches that aren't even looking, jumping on guys that are already down. Why is it that the NFL attracts so many dick-headed morons? Why is that? Why can't these folks grow up?
Yeah, you never really see that at baseball games, do you?
No.
Very, very rarely.
No.
Not like
it's
this.
the Giants and Dodgers. It's about
right. So there you go.
Oh,
yeah,
messed up.
Yeah, you saw the video, right?
Yeah, the way he
he
guy
acts
has
like
no idea he's there.
He thinks he's the biggest badass there. You're right. He's
He walks away. Yeah, he's like, all right, I knocked this guy out. No, I'm gonna go find someone else.
Yeah, in the opposite direction. I'm gonna go attack this guy that's already getting punched by 3 other dudes.
So tough, and his little beanie.
He does have a beanie on top of his friggin' noggin. This is fun, and I guess if you stick around long enough, it's bound to happen. It's just a matter of arithmetic. New England's head coach, Bill Belichick, could become the losingest coach in NFL history this season. He needs to lose 9 more games.
Well, they sure are on track.
He coached a long time, and he didn't always have success. So
No. If they lose 9 more games, he'll become the losingest coach in NFL.
They've got a chance. They've got a chance to be close to that.
In the history His all-time coaching record is 299 wins against 157 losses. The current record for the most regular season losses by a coach in NFL history is held by 2 coaches, Randy Shaver. Go.
I don't know. Bill Parcells?
No, it's kind of tough. I mean, one of them, I think it would take any of us all day to come up with it. The other...
Tom Landry?
Now, Tom Landry is the all-time leader.
Time.
Tom Landry is the all-time leader if you include playoff.
For losses.
For losses.
Okay.
Because he coached for 713 years.
Marty Schottenheimer?
That's a good
That's
guess.
a good guess.
It's a good guess. I'll just throw you some hints.
Sure.
One of them, thick Southern accent, played for the Cowboys as a player.
Oh, Dan Reeves.
Dan Reeves.
Yeah.
And the other kind of became a punchline towards the end. I don't even know what he's doing now. I don't think he's still coaching in the NFL, but I mean, head coach. He could be a coordinator. I don't know. He head coached for a while. It kind of ended terribly. Everyone made fun of him. Mustache, black hair, wore a lot of blue jeans that were not age appropriate.
Mustache, black hair.
Jeff Fisher.
Oh, Jeff Fisher.
Yeah.
Sure. You're right about the punchline. Yes.
Yeah.
And the age-appropriate jeans.
Yes.
The Pigs have a game tonight against Les Habitants.
Yeah. Montreal.
6 o'clock tonight.
Getting closer to that Wolves season. Do they start next week? I think they start on...
The 25th. Is that next week?
Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Is that next Wednesday?
They've got a preseason game on Thursday night when we're going to be at the casino. And yesterday out there, we were joking. We're all going to put like $10,000 on the NBA preseason Wolves game.
I don't think I'd do that.
Let's give her hell.
Yeah.
On that
it's
Bulls
right around the corner.
Wolves preseason.
Can't wait.
Oh, I'm very excited for the basketball season.
Yep.
Also, back to hockey real quick for you Pigs fans. Bleacher Report put out an article predicting each NHL team's most valuable player for the upcoming season. Big surprise. They went with the Russian kid.
Sure.
Oh, God.
And here we go.
What?
Brotherhood in the Box starts tonight.
That's right.
American Legion in St. Louis Park.
Again,
6 to
I'm
8.
still
Come
confused.
get your Wild Sweet tickets.
Why do Wapple's bar gigs get a feature on air on the program? I don't understand this.
It's in the contract.
As you've said before, it's industry stuff you wouldn't understand.
Josh, all the years that you and I did terrible bar gigs, did it ever get a feature on air?
No, I mean, we could barely mention it, really.
Did your parents make a phone call to Cumulus or something? I still don't get this. Why we all have to step aside and make sure Wapple gets a crowd. Josh didn't get that effort when he was going to Menards at 10 a.m. on a Saturday morning.
Sure did it.
Wapple, so do a lot of people show up for these kind of things?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the hockey gigs, again, not only does he get a feature on the show, but he gets the easy gigs.
Sure.
It's a hockey game. Of course people are going to tell him where you're going to be. We do feel a little ripped off over here, though. We do.
I'm going to be at the American Legion in St. Louis Park from 6 to 8. And these tickets are sweet to have because it is going to be for New Year's Eve.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
That is
really?
awesome.
Okay.
That'd be a great way to spend New
Don't the
Year's.
Vikings play on New Year's
Yeah,
Eve?
the Packers.
Oh.
Josh,
That's a Sunday night game. I think that'll get flexed, don't you think?
Yeah.
That'll get flexed out.
You're onto something, though, Nick, because every April I'd be standing out in like right next to the inflatable wavy arm guy and the Statue of Liberty on roller skates, having people come in and do drive-by taxes or something like that.
Josh didn't get this little effort, this little, what's the word I'm looking for? This promotion, this level of promotion when he was at a T-Mobile store at a mall in Coon Rapids a few years ago.
I have done those, and those are brutal.
I did
just,
one.
Standing there with the workers the whole time.
And everybody's disappointed. No one showed up.
Yep.
Everyone
Yep.
thinks you're going to
Yep.
broadcast.
Yep.
I did that in the Skyway on the day before Thanksgiving, and I don't think even the workers didn't show up.
Yeah, what?
I had one of these before Thanksgiving, and I think I had 3 people in the bar the whole time.
But nowadays, I guess we just got to stop time and make sure everybody knows about. By the way, Wapple went to the last Friday night's University of Minnesota versus St. Thomas hockey game, that exciting
that was
overtime.
great. Yeah.
Now, did you have to take some time to explain the sport of hockey to the St. Thomas fans before the game began, or?
The whole time I was like, welcome to D1 hockey. You finally made it. Your
Right.
Make-A-Wish came true.
That was fun, though, huh, Wapple?
Oh, it was a blast.
Yeah,
It wasn't looking good once St. Thomas started scoring, but boy, once the Gophers started scoring, one right after the other, and got into overtime.
It was funny
we were
watching
right-
the St. Thomas team score because they really don't even know what they're doing out there yet. I mean, hockey is brand new to the kids, brand new to all the students,
Yeah,
brand
the
new to
sticks
the
they
fans.
usually have, they're on a horse right out of the middle of the lawn.
Right.
That's what these wealthy St. Thomas kids are used to.
We were joking around Friday after the show because, Wapple said, I'm going to the game tonight. We were joking around about the various ways we could tease the St. Thomas people about being brand new to hockey, which I'm sure would have pissed them off to no end if you would have.
Nick said to just print out the whole rule book for D1 hockey and then hand it to people.
Oh, God, that would have been great.
Go.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You're likely going to need this before. Here you go. Welcome to hockey, everybody.
Brand new rules.
We U of M fans have known it for hundreds of years, but welcome to hockey.
Like a
103 years,
like
to
a
be
program
exact.
when you go watch a play, they hand that out.
That's great. And they swept them because St. Thomas hockey sucks.
Oh, it was sweet seeing Goldie get out on the ice with his broom just sweeping the ice away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
And they're probably the St. Thomas fans didn't get it. What is this? So it's a sweep. It's a series. We play two games.
Is that called manual labor? What is that?
Yep. Just wait till they face those 36-year-olds that play for Mankato.
I'm 31. I can finally try out for the team.
All right, real quick before we go, Randy Shaver, you started this.
Okay.
Here are some more cute, you mentioned the basketball season. Here are some more cute fantasy basketball team names from USA
good.
Today.
Sure.
They pulled these off of websites and tweets and things like that. I'm not that crazy about some of these, but everyone seemed to get a kick out of it last time. You can't curry love. No, you just have to. Drew Grit.
No.
In reference to Drew Holiday.
No.
Jamal about that bass.
I'm the only one that laughed. Dang it, that's embarrassing.
Denver Nuggets guard Jamal Murrah comes into play there. Kawaiian Punch.
Yeah.
I
I like
one.
mine better.
What does this mean? Sir, this is a Wemby's? Now, I know it's a reference to Victor Wembanyama, whatever, the new kid from the San.
Wendy's, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
well,
yeah, but
That's a meme.
it's a meme?
Yeah, or just a
Sir,
phrase people
this
throw
is
around.
Okay, you internet.
Wembayami?
Oh! The expensive backpacks? I don't get that. Christmas Sabonis.
Christmas.
Hey, Josh, that time Dana was the only one. That
I know. He beat me to it.
And speaking of the
I was going to
Timberwolves,
laugh, but then I heard the reaction his laugh got.
Thanks for bailing me out, man.
Hey, you're on your own, pal. You left me hanging.
I did. I deserve that.
and speaking of the Timberwolves, Jim Peterson just had some prostate cancer removed.
He did.
And he's going good again, and he
He's
still
doing good.
plans on calling games. He's still recovering from surgery. He's
That's
going to miss
great.
a couple of preseason games, but he'll be there for the opener.
Which is great.
The best in the absolute business.
He is the best.
Jim Peterson on color commentary for the Wolves. He's part of the reason why I tune into every single last effing game. He and Michael Grady are terrific together.
Well, it'd be awesome to get him for the season, wouldn't it? Like we get Dick.
Well, we tried.
Get Jimmy Pete, man.
We tried.
Yeah, he's so busy.
Yeah. We tried last year, and he
Not
was very...
that Dick's not, but it just didn't
How about
work
Michael Grady?
Dick's not. He was very friendly about it, Jim Peterson, when I talked to him on the phone, but his schedule didn't allow him. What about Michael Grady? I can't remember if I made that phone call or not. But we love those two guys. They are so great, and they're part of watching a Wolves game, part of the great experience of watching a Wolves game. I try to never miss it. Those guys have turned so good for you, Jimmy Peterson.
Can I make a birthday shout out this morning?
Oh, God help us, yes.
Happy birthday to Patrick Royce.
Oh, sure.
78 today.
No way.
He put on Twitter, 78 today. Bad knees, otherwise reasonable health. Thank you, Diet Coke.
He does love his Diet Cokes.
Is that one of your bros, Randy?
Patrick is he is a gem. He is just a fantastic writer. Love reading his stuff, have for years and years and years. But he's such a historian. Such a historian of Minnesota sports. So, yeah.
There you go. Happy birthday, Patrick Royce. All right, Randy, we'll let you off the hook for now.
All right, sounds good.
We'll talk to you tomorrow morning.
I'll be back. Is Janelle back in studio at some point?
We're hoping so, yeah.
She's out of town working. We don't know when we're going to get her.
On a bender. The girl's always working.
Yeah, she's a tough character. She's nose to the grindstone type of a. So we'll get Janelle on the air as soon as we can, Randy.
Sounds good.
So you can show off a little bit. We know you try to impress her.
It's not hard.
There you go. Thanks, Randy.
See ya.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
And now is a great time to join their team. Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians, dedicated to improving the work-life balance of their employees by providing benefits that include parental leave and 401k match. Apply today at standardheating.com.
We're all juggling life, a career, and trying to build a little bit of wealth. The Brown Ambition podcast with host Mandy and Tiffany the Budgetnista can help.
If I do even consider lending, I always ask myself, will this solve the problem? So I know you don't have your money for mortgage because you don't have a job. So what happens next month? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about the next month. Now, it's another thing if you're like, hey, Tiffany, I have $1,000 left to pay my car and then I'm car note free and I'll be able to pay you back, the 3 months I used to pay my car note. That solves the problem.
Brown Ambition.
Wherever you listen.
Okay, you see what he did? He French fried when he should have pizza. French fry when you pizza, you're gonna have a bad time.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
By the way, Josh and I want to know why that's a drop.
Yeah, I was curious about that.
Who made that? Who made that drop?
I did.
What the hell are they talking about?
Skiing.
Skiing?
Mm-hmm. The episode where they go to the timeshare in Aspen.
Yeah. The episode of what?
South Park.
South Park?
Yes.
It's unbelievable what goes on around here. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the program. It's 8:31. We got another big social occasion coming up. Our trip to the casino in Wisconsin is coming up in just a couple of days.
2 days away. You guys aren't even ready.
No.
I'm not ready, no.
And we're just a couple weeks past our fall booze cruise super spreader event, and here we go again. another big social event. And we love getting to know people. We love getting to know folks. But sometimes we all get stuck in a conversation that we're not crazy about. It happens. It happens. You lock into a conversation with someone who's a little odd.
Mm-hmm.
Or someone who just goes on and on and on and on and on. Here I have in front of me a list of the worst conversations you can get forced into. The worst conversations, according to the general public, I guess. The worst conversations you can get forced into. Okay? Tell me where you go with this and that. Because it's, we're bound to have a, couple chit-chats maybe this coming weekend where we go, oh, Jesus, where's the exit? Getting stuck with your girlfriend's friend's awful boyfriend.
That does suck so bad.
I'm going to need someone to draw me a map there, but yeah, it doesn't sound good.
I always feel so bad when I do that.
Because they're sitting there watching you, like hoping that the two of us bond,
Yeah.
When you do what?
There's been times where, like, one of my girlfriends will be with their boyfriend, so they're like, yeah, bring your guy with, and I'm like, they don't have like absolutely anything in common.
It's
Maybe it's not a good idea.
Like a play date.
Yeah, exactly.
I have to say that I've been pretty damn lucky in my lifetime when it comes to, okay, I've got a significant other, we go out with another couple, I don't know the dude, and we're expected to, hit it off, or at least just, at the bare minimum, just get along through a dinner or a night of drinking. I've been pretty lucky. I cannot think of once where I thought, Jesus, balls, get me out of here. But I know what happens. I hear the stories. another conversation, I guess, for some people. They're not comfortable with it. They don't want to be forced into it. Making small talk with the cashier.
I don't mind that so much.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like doing that.
No,
especially at Cub lately because they have this cool stamp thing going on that I've been a part of. It's like a raffle thing, and you get stamps every time you buy some stuff, and eventually you can win a pan.
A pan?
So I've been like really talking to the cashiers lately. We've been bonding over like what pans are better than other pans.
I don't know much. Into a 60-year-old woman.
Yeah, it really has changed my life.
This is not a conversation I expected to have this morning.
You could put this one on the list.
I actually, I tweeted about it not too long ago.
I am putting this one on the list.
I tweeted about the whole thing not too long ago, and a bunch of people are doing it. So.
Let's see. I'm going to write that on my list. When someone brings up an oddball raffle at their favorite grocery store.
You can win a pan.
And we're supposed to care. There we go. I got that on my list. I don't have, see, I generally like to talk to people. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I do as well.
And
I don't get enough of it.
Yes, we know that about you. I know when to quit. And what I mean by that is I try not to ever have a conversation drag on too long. And I know pretty quickly when I'm done talking to someone. If you know what I mean, I know I don't like this person and I don't want to talk to them anymore. I will simply walk away. But in general, I do like talking to all different kinds of people. So making small talk with the cashier doesn't bother me.
Up at the crack of dawn, Jesus has your back, Ashley. He said, tell Ashley those pans are amazing.
Yes.
Dealing with a salesperson that's being really pushy.
Oh,
that's terrible.
Yeah.
I cave every
Do you
time.
really?
They get me.
You know what's great? Having a spouse, because, shoot, I am so tempted right now. I got to tell you, I want to do it. I got to double check with the wife.
Oh, especially because you're the dude. So, like, the wife usually says what goes.
What? Exactly.
Good call. So,
So
if you're
smart.
if you're feeling that pressure, Josh, you can always throw that, hey, I got to talk to the wife and I'll give you a call back.
Yep. So if there's ever a sales guy that hears that from me, that means I am not interested whatsoever, but I don't want to hurt your feelings.
I hate it when they're obviously laying it on thick, too. Like, they come, hey, that's a great shirt you got on there, pal. You know, like they're trying to be, like, overly nice and, you know, get you fired up or
They're
get
trying
you
to
buttered
bond
up a
with
little
you.
bit. Yeah.
Salespeople can be sleazy. I think we all know that. Look at the staff we got here at the radio station.
With one exception, you're right. Hey, I was at there was a gym I went to many years ago, and I went in. A buddy gave me a pass, and I didn't realize this, but on the way out, you had to talk to a salesperson.
Sure.
And that was a very pushy salesperson, and he shamed me because I was like, I don't know, man, that's pretty expensive, and it was expensive. I'm like, I can't pay that. And he's like, oh. Can you really put a price on your health?
Oh,
I was like, yeah, it's under what you're charging.
Jesus.
Yes, I can.
I'll go run outside.
Another conversation folks don't like to get locked into. Well, see, I've only had three of these. And I actually enjoy the awkwardness of Zoom calls. I do. You guys know this. When we've had past Zoom calls, I like the awkwardness and the uncomfortable silence. I thrive on it because, you can just kind of stare into the distance and there's, more than a few of you. You're not feeling terribly responsible to talk because there's 5-6 of you in these Zoom meetings that I've been involved in. But anyway, this is specifically when you join a Zoom call early and are forced to make small talk with a colleague. So this is like a one-on-one thing. Okay.
So honestly, we've mentioned a couple of these before with the biggest boss we've got.
Yes.
Right. And
so it's her and like 5-6 of us, or maybe even more.
Yeah. They break it out in groups, right? You got the bigger one with everybody, and locally, and then it's just they'll break it out like maybe by the morning show or on-air staff.
Sure.
And those pauses when there's questions that no one has an answer for or is afraid to give an answer for, that doesn't make you uncomfortable?
Absolutely not. I love it.
Oh, my God.
No.
I'm sweating like a bastard.
And that's part of my enjoyment is I know that you guys get really stressed out over those situations when we have a Zoom meeting with the big boss. I don't know why, but I find it to be very entertaining all that silence and everyone's just kind of staring. Oh, what do I do? Do I look directly into the computer? Do I look to the left or the right? I don't know what it is about me, but I thrive on it.
Well, the other part for me is I feel like we're disappointing our bosses here in the building. You know, like I don't want them to be like, hey, thanks a lot, guys. That was great of you to chime in on something like that.
I feel no responsibility to comment at all.
Well, you know, you told us beforehand, I'm not, even if they ask me a direct question, I'm not talking.
I don't know. I'm probably digging my own grave, but I love that bit. I love that. So,
I'm not a fan.
The big boss says to the 5-6 of us, how's everything going over there?
I'm just holding back tears going, somebody say something, somebody say something, somebody say something.
It's worse than that because it'll be like, what's something I should know and what's something you want me to know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so
I like just watching the sweat pour down. The sweat's just pouring down your foreheads.
And what do you say? Well, you know what? We've got some old soundboards. I mean, she's the biggest boss in the company. She doesn't need to hear stuff like that. I don't know what to say. All right, here's somebody that's a car salesman and said they resent this conversation, LOL. And another person said they're a salesperson and they're very well aware of the I need to run it by my wife trick. Dang it.
It's not a trick.
That does suck.
Oh, man. Someone sign us up for another Zoom call.
I'm sure we'll have one.
It's just my favorite new comedy bit. I must be the guy that doesn't make a sound.
Super Serial Jesus said, how about when someone knows who you are and you have no clue who they are?
Oh.
That is the worst feeling ever.
Boy. I've had that situation. I've had someone walk up and go, hey, man, what's up? There he is. That kind of a thing. I mean, there's no reason,
buddy.
There's no reason to be shy. I just say, who the hell am I looking at?
Oh my gosh! Yesterday, me and my boyfriend have been together over a year. I've known his family for over a year. He introduced me to his sister yesterday, and I've met her 25 times probably.
Did you tell her about the pan?
That's exciting stuff. And this is from a guy who cornered a neighbor to talk about all the advancements in a dishwasher.
I mean, usually if someone approaches you and they know you but you don't know them, it's been a long time. So I have no problems just saying, who the hell are you? And sometimes it can be funny, when the other guy realizes, oh, Christ, you've forgotten who I am. There's nothing to be too worried about. Okay, another conversation most folks don't like to get involved in, talking to a real estate agent. They all seem so fake and phony. What? This is being broadcast from the Chris Lindahl studios.
Are you not aware of that?
What the hell's the matter with these people? They're not fake and phony. They're wonderful people.
I like the ones I know.
Yeah, sure.
I'm trying to think if...
I don't understand a word that's coming out of their mouths, but...
No, me neither.
Yeah, I've dealt with one, and I just, anytime he'd ask a question, I would just turn and look at my wife.
I sound like I know what I'm talking about in the ads, I'm sure, but I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, what you do, this is what you need to do when you go look for a house. You just go, yeah, those shingles look like they're pretty new. And then you'll sound like you know what you're talking about.
And then they'll talk for 35 minutes.
Right.
When you go to a party with a friend, and that friend leaves you alone, and you don't know anyone else there.
I hate that.
I don't mind that. I like meeting new people.
I do as well, but I'm not a go up and introduce myself guy.
Sure.
I don't have that confidence.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm so awkward.
I think Dana, what they're talking about is you're just sitting there. You're on the, everyone, all the friend group is in the kitchen. You're on the couch. You're by yourself.
You are very childlike. I picture you like when you take your kindergartner to a park and they're like, hi, I'm Dana. What's your name? Do you want to be friends?
Do you like Zelda too?
People don't like to be locked into a conversation where the other person is doing nothing but talking about their kids. And obviously,
I worry about that with me.
There's a difference between people who just say, my kid does this and my kid does that, to the people who like to paint the picture that their child is the second coming of the most brilliant and the most wonderful, and he's so this and she's so that. I will puke on your shoes.
Yeah, there's a difference between bragging about your children or trying to talk them up versus I want to hear all the funny stories about your kid.
Yeah, Josh,
the weird, creepy things they do.
Josh, you do have good stories with your kids because it's either your youngest doing something stupid that's hilarious, or it's your two oldest ones and they're roasting you about something.
Yeah. They usually are. They're my bullies. And they're pretty good at it.
They are great at it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're coming up with us. We're going over to Wisconsin with us, so I'm sure there'll be a couple there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what else we don't like? running into an ex in public?
I've never done that.
I just did once. I don't find that very awkward at all.
It all depends.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty
Let's
awkward.
ask Wapple.
Wapple, I'd be scared for you.
Well, Wapple would be in some danger,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, most definitely.
Running-
Is your current girlfriend, is she a jealous person?
No.
So
Not at all.
she wouldn't be like, oh, well, that bitch sure looked at you in a way I didn't like or
He's
something
got
like
the
that?
jealousy thing handled, don't you,
Okay,
Wapple?
that's a good point.
But I'm telling you, the rest of us running into an ex in public, probably not going to be a big deal. But let's ask Wapple.
No, I'd be totally fine.
Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't talk to her at all.
I don't think you'd be fine. Just and it has nothing to do with you. Just kind of what was going on there.
I would be more nervous if my now girlfriend met my ex. That would not go well.
Oh, sure.
Oh, she does not like
Oh,
my
because
ex.
she's heard the stories, and yeah, she's
Oh, and
probably
she
not
just-
her favorite person in the
Yeah,
world.
Who does
hates
she
the-
like?
Hates the way that
Yeah, she doesn't like
treated
anybody.
me. Well, I mean, she has reasons.
What do we got here? Having someone tell you about their sports bets or their fantasy team. Yes.
That is pretty maddening.
Especially because I don't understand sports, like sport betting at all. So you lost me.
Any really sad story that just brings down the mood? I don't know. I like a good sad story.
Oh, you love people's misery.
Yeah.
But you look at it as sort of a comedy.
Yeah, I do. I do. Someone telling you about all their minor medical issues. See, I take an interest in that.
Yeah, same here.
What? You got a wart? Where? What do you...
Let me see.
You sprained your what? I get it. Maybe because we're older guys now, Josh. That's a lot of what we talk about. Is
Yeah, I'm
our,
fine with that.
Is our physical shortcomings.
Well, I like to hear about what people are into that maybe I'm not familiar with. Or I'm not like Dana, your passions. I'm not into a lot of the stuff yet, but I love hearing about some of that. And I love how passionate you are about it.
Finally, the last couple conversations here that most folks don't want to be involved in. This is good. I like that. I like the top two. I do. Anyone telling you about their dreams they had. Josh knows this. A former employee here thought that telling us about his dreams was appointment radio. And I did not get it. What do you... None of the stories went anywhere.
Yeah.
You know you are out of conversation on a radio show, individually. If you are talking on a radio show and your number one route is, let me tell you about my dream, you know you've run out of things to say.
Mm-hmm.
It better be earth-shattering, or you've, like my story about my dream, there is one dream that I do tell the story of repeatedly on this show, the Tom Brady murder dream.
Yeah, that's an odd dream.
Yeah, because that's weird.
It better be good. But this guy's like, last night I dreamed that I was a pear. You're like, okay, where are we supposed to go with that? Speaking of fruits, there's a pan deal at Cub Foods that you can... It just went nowhere. The guy, he thought it was interesting. Number one, hands down, I hope none of us can argue this. The worst conversation you ever want to get locked into, friggin' politics.
Yep.
Take your politics, shove them up your behind.
Right.
Yeah, I'm cool talking about anything somebody's into, but politics, you're right. I'm not. No interest in that whatsoever.
Especially when it comes up at a party or a bar. It's like, this is supposed to be fun. This is our fun time right now. Why are you ruining it?
There used to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Unwritten rule. No politics or religion at the bar.
Yep.
That's gone out the window.
But that's fun for some of those psychopaths. Like, it's fun for them to argue over politics.
Good God.
Well, it's different because I think there was a time where you could learn something from someone, right, that might be in an opposing party or whatever you want to say, right? You guys could have a conversation and go, you know what, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I hear what you're saying on this. That totally makes sense. You can't do that anymore.
Nope.
It's, you're
It's
with
black and
me or
white.
against me. Everybody's so angry about it. So that's definitely changed.
Have you guys had this experience, in the last couple of years? Because we're all just so effing mental about politics now. Have you had this experience where you sit up to the bar and some old timer says, this is the Democrat side or the Republican? Shut up.
Are you serious?
No, you haven't had that experience?
Well, I don't go to the bar.
Oh, yes, I suppose you don't.
They don't do that over at Jersey Mike's.
No,
we're
I
all
don't think so.
welcome.
Oh, is that what side of the bar I'm on? Just effing shut up. And now I'm sorry that I had to yell at everybody.
You're listening to the radio. The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
The radio. Yes, listening to the radio before we roll. Here's our pal. You've heard him here on 93X. JP's in studio to tell us what he's got cooking. It's a way we can help out folks that are in need. What's up, JP?
How are you guys doing?
Hey, my man.
Great
Good to see you
again.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, definitely appreciate you guys letting me come on. Of course, I've got my little nonprofit action called One Love Brigade, and we collect bikes, walkers, and wheelchairs throughout the metro here, and then we ship them in a 40-foot container every year down to Jamaica and give them away to kids that do not have a bike and people that need wheelchairs and whatnot across Jamaica throughout the month of December.
How did you get? I mean, you've been doing this almost 10 years.
Yep,
right?
this is our 10th year now. Yep.
It is 10 years. Okay.
Yep.
How did you get involved in this? What inspired you?
You know, back in the day, I've been to Jamaica over 40 times now, and about 10 years ago, I saw a kid riding a homemade bike, and when I saw him riding this bike, I was like, why are 10 other kids staring at him? And I thought to myself, why aren't they all riding bikes? And they said, JP will never, be able to afford to give our kid a bike. And I kind of thought, why don't I ship bikes from Minneapolis to Jamaica, and that's it.
It's pretty interesting. I mean, we've been down there a couple times, Josh and I, and it was kind of shocking how broke a lot of folks came off when we were in some of the towns. It really was a surprise. I had this idea that Jamaica was this beautiful paradise and everybody was happy and dancing and all this nonsense. But there are some...
That's the perception, right?
Right.
We were shocked because it was a long bus ride to get to the resort. And, the resorts are beautiful. Nicest places I've ever been.
Oh,
probably.
God help us. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I put them in this order. Turtle Lake in Wisconsin, which will be at Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Right. That's the
and
nicest.
Then Jamaica.
Right.
Jamaica is a distant second. But yeah, driving there, you almost feel kind of guilty.
Oh, I did. We both did. It's a shame that any kid, goes without something as simple, at least it seems to me simple, as a bicycle to ride around and then have some fun. So that's a pretty cool thing that you're doing, JP.
Yeah, and you know what the difference between you, JP, and me, Nick? We did nothing about it. We absolutely nothing, and here you've been doing this great thing for a decade.
I think I went and got full of Red Stripe beer and dangled with some complete strangers.
And then Nick bought a bike and threw it away.
Oh, no!
He did. But you're a charitable guy. You've always been a good guy. We've been lucky to work with you for a very long time. And, of course, you thanked us for coming on, but there's no reason to thank us. What you're doing is awesome.
What are some of the numbers you've put up in past years as far as bicycles and wheelchairs and this and that that you've hauled down to Jamaica?
Yeah, we've delivered now over 1,200 bikes to Jamaica. And so we're the largest bike charity in the entire Caribbean. Hundreds of walkers and wheelchairs. So it's absolutely incredible every year.
What's it like when you present them to people?
A lot of kids are freaked out. I mean, if you see our website, you'll see some of the kids are like ecstatic. Some of the kids are shocked, like, why is this random tattooed white guy handing me a bicycle? And then we have to give them a note, to give their parents, because in Jamaica, unlike the U.S., when you go home with a brand new bike, the parents just want to beat these kids to death thinking they stole a bike. So you got to tell them, don't kill the kid.
Okay.
Because if you're stealing something, you're on an island. There's really nowhere to go. So it's not taken well. So,
dear mom and dad, this was a gift. That's really interesting and a nice deal. What's the website where folks can go?
You can go to onelovebrigade.com, ONE-lovebrigade.com. You can also go to bikesforjamaica.com. And we're hoping that, people every year, actually, we've had tons of the 93X listeners donate bikes to us, whether you have like a DWI bike, because we do give bikes to, adults, or you've got a kid that's outgrown their bike. As long as it's rideable, we'd love to pick it up and, save it from the Minnesota winter and get it to Jamaica.
DWI bike. I used to know there was a bar I used to drink at in, was it New Hope? And we went there quite a bit. And on Friday nights around 6, there was a gathering of like 5 guys who all pulled into the parking lot on their Schwinn bicycles. We called them the Schwinn Gang because every damn one of them got a D-dub. That's why they're riding their damn bicycle to the bar.
So, and how do people do it? I've got a couple bikes I'd love to give you. Just the same situation you said as far as kids outgrowing them. So, and people are texting in. How do they donate? Do you take scooters? Do you take mobility scooters? What kind of stuff?
Yep, we don't take mobility scooters because anything power out there, it breaks, and then there's no real way to replace anything. But we do take wheelchairs if they're just a standard, wheelchair, you self-powered type of deal. Those are huge. Walkers are really, really big. And then also, like I say, rideable bikes. If you go to bikesforjamaica.com, you can click on the contact link and tell us, hey, we've got a bike. We'll come pick it up this week and make sure we save it from this Minnesota winter.
What about like the scooters, the self-powered scooters? Will you take those?
Those there's nothing level in Jamaica. The runway's pretty questionable as well. So those are pretty dangerous for us, even though the kids would try it. There'd be a lot of blood and effort.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And now, did we cover this already? I mean, you also just will take straight up cash donations, will you not, JP? Just because it costs you some money to go down there and transport all these bicycles and such.
Yep, it's over $25,000 a year to get this thing from Minneapolis into Jamaica.
God,
and
wow.
We've actually got 7 Jamaican vacations we're raffling off. You can buy tickets for $20 at onelovebrigade.com, and hopefully you win one of those and take us, because we're not eligible for any of it. But it's a huge deal, and we greatly appreciate, like I say, the 93X listeners. Years ago, we were finishing a school out in Sheffield, and we actually had a listener of the Half-Ass Morning Show show up with a fridge and save our life out in Sheffield, Jamaica. So we greatly appreciate.
It's great.
It's a charitable group, the 93X crowd. It really is.
We've learned that over the years.
Absolutely.
It's very touching for sure. And you mentioned a school. You guys will take school supplies. You take toys, balls, things like that. Everything a kid could use. Shoes, sandals.
Definitely. We take all that. We greatly appreciate things like that, because it's the average salary, kind of like you're talking about Jamaica being broke. The average salary is $1.57 an hour.
Oh, my gosh.
God dang.
So I feel
Wapple,
rich.
You can relate. Yeah. I mean, shoot, that puts things in perspective.
Who can relate?
Wapple. He can relate.
Wapple and I are both celebrating that 2% raise.
Mrs. Jeweler Jesus wants to know about how far from the cities do you guys pick up bikes?
Probably, 40, 50 miles. Like, well, we've been to Hudson, picked up a couple of bikes and things like that, but we'd love to pick up bikes. Like I say, as long as they're rideable and they have tires and whatnot. I mean, that's the big thing. We just don't have a lot of cash to repair bikes.
Do we have time for me to tell the story what I picked up in Hudson one night? Jesus, criminy. It's a wonderful thing you're doing, JP, and you've been doing it for years and years.
Definitely. I greatly appreciate it. And like I say, the ability to come here and talk a little bit about this, it's a big thing. So we appreciate that greatly.
Hey, you make the station look good, dude. So we appreciate it.
They gave me 2%.
Again with the 2%.
That's right.
Brotherhood and sisterhood. Look up JP and do your thing, because, like I said before, we know that you're great when it comes to helping folks out who could use a hand. So
and we'll post all this on 93x.com. So if you missed some of the websites, we can get it there, all the information. But yeah, the real thanks goes to you, man. Thank you so much.
And when do you go down?
We take off December 2nd and return the 23rd.
You got ladies down there?
Oh, there's plenty of that.
Word. Thanks, JP.
All right, thank you.
You bet.
Good to see you, man. Daughter stole my Jeep. Jesus wants to wish a happy 21st to his wonderful, smart daughter, Krabby Abby. And birthday shout out to Not Your Average sponsor, Jesus, from
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is currently hiring experienced and entry-level HVAC technicians. Apply today at standardheating.com.